I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
As I told George Floyd's family this morning, his death has had an irrevocable impact on the Minneapolis community, on our country, and on the world. His loss is still felt deeply by those who loved and knew him, and by many who did not. George Floyd should be alive today.
So Merrick Garland there. I know you've been wanting to hear from Merrick Garland. Didn't know if you had that one on your bingo card. The Justice Department did an inspection. They did an investigation into the Minneapolis Police Department. And if you remember back when Ferguson was going down, you remember that Eric Holder came in and then they did the investigation and they found some things in the police department here that they wanted to rectify, but essentially vindicated the officer, and the Michael Brown situation didn't come out on the side of the hands up, don't shoot narrative, which was a complete and total fabricated lie. So they do the same thing here with what took place with George Floyd. Now, I'm going to play a couple clips from you for you today from this press conference that Merrick Garland brought out for the American people an hour and a half or so ago. Because these are things that the Justice Department has determined is very important for the American people to hear and to know.
The Department of Justice has concluded that there is reasonable cause to believe that the Minneapolis Police Department and the city of Minneapolis engaged in a pattern or practice of conduct that violates the First and Fourth Amendments of the United States Constitution. There is also reasonable cause to believe that they engage in conduct that violates Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Safe Streets Act, and the Americans with Disabilities Act. Specifically, we found that MPD and the city of Minneapolis engages in a pattern or practice of using excessive force, unlawfully discriminating against Black and Native American people in enforcement activities, violating the rights of people engaged in protected speech, and discriminating against people with behavioral disabilities and responding to them in crisis.
So Merrick Garland presenting this information to the people, you and to me, and finding out, you know, we know the story about George Floyd. We understand what happened to George Floyd. We saw how the policing was carried out against George Floyd. And I don't really know anybody who is like, the police were right in that instance. Watching what happened to George Floyd, and unfortunately we had the ability to see it all, that is something that was very difficult to watch. It ripped the country apart at the seams because it was horrible. It was horrible for the country to take it in. Now, like I said, with the Ferguson thing, you have something very nationally understood by the American people. It creates a division that some people are profiting on, of course, in this country between police officers and law enforcement and the people who are members of that community and the people who are being policed. So they come in, Merrick Garland comes in and does this investigation.
First, we found that the Minneapolis Police Department routinely uses excessive force, often when no force is necessary, including unjust, deadly force and unreasonable use of tasers. MPD officers discharge firearms at people without assessing whether the person presents any threat, let alone a threat that would justify deadly force.
He's giving us the results of this investigation. He is telling the country what they discovered when they went into this police department to figure out how does a climate or a culture, how is it established that results in something like what took place with George Floyd? Is that important information for us to know? Do we need to know these details? I think that if there is a broken culture, that, yeah, it is something that needs to be known.
For example, In 2017, an MPD officer shot and killed an unarmed woman who he said had, quote, spooked him when she approached his squad car. The woman had called 911, to report a possible sexual assault in a nearby alley. We also found that MPD officers routinely disregard the safety of people in their custody. Our review found numerous incidents in which MPD officers responded to a person's statement that...
It looks like it cuts off there. It's pretty detailed, right? In what takes place, the kind of stuff that goes on in MPD. Pretty specific, pretty anecdotal.
We also found that MPD officers failed to intervene to prevent unreasonable use of force by other officers. Indeed, as outlined in our report, years before he killed George Floyd, Derek Chauvin used excessive force on other occasions in which multiple MPD officers stood by and did not stop him.
So now they're painting this picture, a broader picture of Derek Chauvin, who, as I understand it, is in jail, going to be in jail forever. And this is more context to the Derek Chauvin portion of what happened to George Floyd. Merrick Garland thinks it's important that we understand the broad picture here. How did we get to this moment in time? How did we get to the place where George Floyd loses his life at the hands of what he's painting a picture here is a culturally broken and inept police department? Here's some more.
Second, we found that MPD unlawfully discriminates against Black and Native American people in its enforcement activities, including the use of force following stops. Based on our review of the data, MPD officers stop, search, and then use force against people who are Black and Native American at disproportionate rates. The data showed, for example, that MPD stopped Black and Native American people nearly 6 times more often than white people in situations that did not result in arrest or citation, given their shares of the population.
So there's according to Merrick Garland and their investigation, there is a culture of discriminatory practices. We've specified that Derek Chauvin has a history of implementing excessive force. What else does he have for us?
We found several incidents in which MPD officers were not held accountable for racist conduct until there was a public outcry. For example, after MPD officers stopped a car carrying 4 Somali American teens, one officer told the teens, quote, "Do you remember what happened in Black Hawk Down when we killed a bunch of your folk? I'm proud of that. We didn't finish the job over there. If we had, you guys wouldn't be over here right now." As everyone no doubt knows, this is a reference to the 1990s raid by American Special Forces in Mogadishu.
Merrick Garland seems to think that it's really important for the American people to understand all of the things that led up to this one moment where George Floyd lost his life. That to me seems like Merrick Garland had to make a decision there, because that story is horrific. If that's something that actually took place, based on the investigation, I can't imagine he's making that up. If that's something that really took place, that is horrific. Should it be called out into the open for the American people to hear? What is the consequence of telling a story like that with those details? How do people in America hear that story? And then furthermore, after they've heard that story, what are they compelled to do? What are they compelled to say? Does it create division? Does it create, manifest, and mobilize people to hate one another? If all of those things are consequences of this information being released to the American people, is it still more important that the American people have that information so that they can know the reality of the situation and the culture that led up to George Floyd's death? Is it more important for the American people to have access to that information so they can understand what was going on, as hard as it would be to hear, as difficult as it is for us to digest? Is it important that the American people have this information? If you ask Merrick Garland, and his department, the answer is absolutely yes. What happens if this causes people to hate one another? What happens if this causes people to mobilize in the streets? Fire up some protests. Merrick Garland has decided this is information that paints the picture that leads up to the death of George Floyd, specifying on the experience that the MPD had with Derek Chauvin. This is important information for the American people to understand the culture of what is going on in America today. Let's go to Nashville.
And no motive at this point? Anything discovered in the apartment or house?
No, we have a manifesto. We have some writings that we're going over that pertain to this day, the actual incident. We have a map drawn out of how this was all going to take place. There's right now a theory of that we may be able to talk about later, but it's not confirmed. And so we'll put that out as soon as we can.
That's the Nashville police. After a transgender male, it escapes me.
Yes.
Female transition to male.
Yes.
After a transgender male went into a school and shot up school children, why would that person do that? Why did that person go into that school and take out on small, innocent children in a Christian school? Why did those kids die? Why are they not with us today? Do their lives matter? That was when the Nashville police came out and said, well, we do have a motive, but we're still investigating that. I think that was on the day of the shooting. Do we have that manifesto? Do we know why those children's lives were needlessly lost at the end of a scary gun in the hands of a very scary person? Do we know why?
Why are they wanting to block the trans manifesto, Kaylee?
Because it obviously doesn't fit the liberal narrative. That's the clear answer. I mean, this is basic transparency. People want to know why this individual did what she did, but it's unfriendly to the left-wing media's narrative.
Kaylee McEnany talking and saying the truth, and that clip is from 2 days after that event. Why do we not have this manifesto from this individual who came in and shot up these kids and some of the people who valiantly tried to protect the lives of other children and likely did save them? Now, I think that the thing that we are most steeped in this country right now is the idea that there are rules for thee, but not for me. I think that every time we turn around, we're seeing that everything in this country is set up with a division line clearly drawn on politics. If you are this, then that. But if you are that, then this. When I was listening to Merrick Garland live giving this report, I'm sitting in my car going, why is he doing this? Why is he saying these things that at least 2 years ago, 3 years ago, would have incited people to march in the streets, shut down major highways? I happen to be driving through Atlanta. Is that 75? That's 75, right? Through Atlanta, or 95? 95 is on the coast.
75.
75. I was coming home from the free state of Florida in June of 2020 when protesters flooded one of the biggest highways I've ever driven on in Atlanta and shut the whole freaking thing down because of George Floyd, because of the climate that the country was in at that time, because people were very, very angry. And it did not take much to motivate people to go out in the streets, to protest, to close down the daily flow of society, and in many cases, burn buildings, destroy things, loot places, and turn it into a situation of chaos over the issue that Merrick Garland is talking about right there. But I'm here to tell you, if that's what was going on in the Minneapolis Police Department, if that's what was going on, should we know that climate existed? If people were being treated that unfairly in that police department or any police department, every good police officer I would know would want those people to be called out. Every single one of them. I've spoken with law enforcement after law enforcement after law enforcement about Derek Chauvin. They don't like him. And Derek Chauvin has made their job, just putting on a uniform every day that they go on patrol, he's made it more difficult for them. Is it important for us to know those details about what led up to the death of George Floyd? If it is, and I'm not here to tell you that it isn't, if it is important, why don't we know why these children died in Nashville? And the disgusting part of it all is you already know the answer. Merrick Garland is a political installation to make sure that he does whatever it is, whomever is in charge. We all have our ideas. It's supposed to be Joe Biden. It's hard to believe that it is. When you watch Merrick Garland's actions and you see his inactions, and you have a scenario where you've got a president being charged with a federal crime, and he's very quiet on the subject matter. But this is the thing that he finds the podium for. If this is the way it is, folks, don't hear me say what I'm not saying and hear what I am saying here. If this is the way that culture exists in any police department, it should be rooted out. And the good police officers will be the first to tell you that. But we can't do this airing of grievances and, effort to correct behavior. You can't just do it when it's politically expedient for you and it gives you the opportunity to go in front of a podium and in front of a camera and a microphone and stir the pot. Because that's what these people do. That's what they all do. They only care about the next power grab, the next money grab, the next opportunity to fundraise so that they can retain the power that lines their pockets. Why did these children in Nashville die? We have the answer. She wrote it down. She put it on paper. Release the manifesto. I'm not even asking you to do it from a podium in front of a camera. But the American people deserve information. The American people deserve the right to know what's going on in their country. And when I see Merrick Garland doing what Merrick Garland did today, Mitch McConnell is an American hero for keeping him off of the Supreme Court. Whatever you think about Mitch McConnell, he did that right. We'll get what the crew here thinks about what Merrick Garland did today. And also, I don't know if anyone else is making the connection that I'm making here. If it's too far of a jump, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that's what I see. It's about information. It's about the dissemination and the withholding of information for political gain. Would love to know what you think about it. The YouTube live chat poll today, not about this. Will a viable third-party candidate enter the presidential race, yes or no? If you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, you can join us there. You can vote. You can comment. If you think so, make sure you tell us who in the comments as well. Ryan, Brad, Hannah, get what you think when we come back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
And he's quick with a joke or to light up your smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be.
Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloor.com. Your flooring purchase made easy when you put your trust in the hands of Michael's family-owned and operated business with multiple locations around the St. Louis area, St. Charles County, West County, Darien Prairie. Online at igotfloor.com. You can request an estimate by going online there as well. And you can see the different products that they carry. Carpeting, if you need to replace the carpeting in your house, I've talked about needing to replace it in mine. Michael's is going to be the destination for my purchase because they know their stuff. And if I'm looking to replace something that's going to withstand the life that my kids are going to live on it and everything else they're going to do to that carpet, they're going to talk to me about the different brands they have. They're going to talk to me about the Mohawk Smart Strand brand that's going to withhold the tests of the Frey feet and everything else that comes into contact with that carpet, so to make sure that my investment is one that is sound. When you are looking for flooring in St. Louis, start online at igotfloor.com, find your way into one of their multiple locations across the city, and start the purchase process today. igotfloor.com.
There's never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry. Right now at Diamonds Direct, our most exciting offer ever. You can get instant savings up to $5,000 off any purchase or enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big. You can't miss this limited time offer. Design your perfect ring and get our most gorgeous and most flexible financing options. Now through June 30th at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Man, what a great party you're throwing here. This wasp nest is great.
Yeah, man, we got about 70 wasps in here.
Too bad we can't fit any more wasps in here. It looks like they're having fun outside, stinging all the kids. Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888. Learn more about our special $67 offer. You can visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Hey, the Mark Reardon Show wants to give you free last-minute tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival. It's coming up at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater on June 25th. Willie Nelson, Robert Plant, and Allison Krauss. Listen all this week from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for your chance to win.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I'm going to play the end of this clip here before I get to you guys' opinion on the Merrick Garland press conference that took place this morning. Here's how he wrapped things up.
I also want to take this opportunity to address the officers of the Minneapolis Police Department. Your profession is essential. The work you do on a daily basis is extremely difficult and often very dangerous. Your responsibilities are enormous and could not be more important. You are asked to keep your community safe, to uphold the rule of law, and to ensure equal justice under law.
So there he is at the end going, but we're really grateful for you. We need you, so let's shape it up. Brad, when you were listening to this, because I know that you tuned in while I was listening to it because you were pulling these clips from it.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you ahead of time that I was going to connect this to the manifesto, because my biggest frustration here is that Merrick Garland is putting the Minneapolis Police Department on blast. Maybe it's warranted. Maybe it's not. But my natural question is why? And if it's because you want America to understand what the climate is there and it needs to be fixed, why have we not heard from the Nashville shooters manifesto as to why those children lost their lives?
So that's the great question, because I look at this and I say, well, as a person, I do want to know. I want to know what's going on with the Minneapolis Police Department. I want to know what's going on in all these other situations. I really want to know. But if you're going to look at the Nashville shooter and say, you don't need to know what's really going on here, we don't want to inspire any sort of, like, I feel like I read that the reason for not releasing the manifesto is they didn't want to inspire any copycats.
Hate against the LGBTQ community.
And hate against the LGBTQ community. That's what you didn't want to inspire. So we don't want to inspire hate against them. Okay, fair enough. If that's what you're going to go with, that's what you're going to go with. But then you come to Minneapolis and you not only say that, hey, we found some impropriety, you release these stories and you make sure that you quote what those officers said to those Somali teenagers. You make sure that you know that the police department unjustly shot someone. You make sure that they know that just all the terrible things that came out in that press conference that were said. You make sure that the people know that. So what you're not worried about there is inciting hate and violence against the Minneapolis Police Department. You're not worried about the current officers who may not have had anything to do with any of that. You're not worried about how you're affecting their job. You're not worried about any of that. You're not worried about causing unrest in the streets, because this is exactly what movements like BLM and everybody have been saying is happening. So he releases that out there. Well, what's that do? That fires everybody up. Fair enough, if you want to fire it up. But why are we firing up one side, but we're not going to fire up the other side?
Well, Ryan, maybe you're sitting here thinking, well, is the federal government, what does the federal government have to say about the Nashville shooting situation? This is some time after George. This is 3 years later, so it's that Nashville shooting was just now. Here's what Karine Jean-Pierre said about it.
Vice President Pence said that if the shooter who killed 6 people in that Christian school in Tennessee was motivated by a hatred towards Christians, that the crime should be categorized as a hate crime. I'm wondering what the president thinks of that kind of designation.
It's not for us to decide.
Not for us to decide. I'm wondering why people aren't mad that the shooter was white.
Yeah.
They're going to take that pitch. The White House took the pitch on whether or not that was a hate crime and weren't interested at all in discussing what was going on. Here's a. I'm not going to play that. That's just too inflammatory. I mean, well, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to play. Okay, so I think what you're pointing out, Brad's pointing out, and all of these clips are pointing out is that there is selective highlighting. And this is on the part of both the DOJ, the White House, the FBI, and the media. One of the areas that I think that this becomes a problem is that, again, if you had a media that wouldn't just carry water for whatever one side of the political aisle did and said, you would have more pushback and more culpability across the board. But when Merrick Garland, and I don't know that this needs to be said, but I'm going to say it anyway. When Merrick Garland comes out and highlights certain cases that are exclusively white people saying or doing things that sound as if on the surface that they're racist against other people, we hear those, and you have to not have a heart to hear that and go, well, that's wrong. You hear that and you go, that should be stopped. That's wrong. But to not spotlight anything else. I mean, even let's go back to the Trump administration and talk about some of the things that he himself would spotlight. I would specifically say that Ben Carson, head of the Housing and Urban Development, he spotlighted a lot of big structural racism issues that were happening in the country. And nobody ever carried any of that because the narrative is that only Democrats can solve race problems. Republicans can't, and they cause them and don't care about them. So I think that's the problem that when I hear these things is that you go, well, doggone it, I really hate what he's talking about. If that is true and being presented fairly, then I want that to stop. But I also know that behind your magic hat, you've got something behind your back, which is a whole bunch of cases that don't fall in line with your narrative that you're not talking about.
Are you trying to solve the problem, Merrick Garland, of discrimination? Are you trying to create an equitable atmosphere where, regardless of your race, your sexuality, your identity, your creed, your economic lot in life, that we treat each other fairly? Because I think that that's what many people who are going to consume what Merrick Garland, and many people, I got a little flack for this when this was all coming out and in 2020, but I'm going to say it again. There are a lot of people who associate themselves with the Black Lives Matter movement that I truly believe to be some of the nicest, caring individuals that I know.
Sure. Yeah.
And to them, when they're saying, Annie, how can you not support Black Lives Matter? I'm like, well, let's hone in on what we're talking about here. The idea that Black Lives Matter, you're dang right I support that idea. And I'm not even going to sit here and do the political talking point thing. All lives matter. It's like, of course, Black lives matter. I think that all lives matter. And then if you really want to go like super deep into the political nerdom, then you start talking about babies' lives mattering. I don't think any of that needs to be said. I think that most red-blooded American people look on the surface level of Black Lives Matter and go, yeah, obviously. I'm a suburban Christian white lady, and I'm living pretty much the most, to many people from the outside looking in, but I'm completely content, boring suburban Christian white lady life. And I'm okay with that. But I understand that my life experience and my perspective is different than somebody who's living we could walk to it from here, an urban African-American existence in North City. That's different. We see the world different. We actually have different realities. We've bastardized that into the conversation of having different truths. No, we don't have different truths. We are experiencing the same reality from different angles. And it is very important that me in my angle don't presume that those people are having the same experiences that I am, and that they don't presume that I'm having the same experiences they are. We'd actually have to sit down and talk to each other to learn about one another so that we could figure out how each of us could help one another. Not just it's not a one-way street, how we could help one another. We'd have to care more about that than a constant understanding of division and the propagating of the victimization of individuals in America, always by the people who are selling the solution that they will have to sell you in the next election in order to get elected again. And if they have to constantly keep selling you on first the fact that the problem exists and second the fact that only they can solve it, but they have to do it every election, do we see where we're going here? Who's being sold what? I don't trust Merrick Garland to be doing what he did for the right reasons. It is possible that an attorney general could do what he did there for the right reasons, and it could look the same. But I believe, more than anything, the most bipartisan issue in this country is people understand that there is no balance. It is not fair. There are people in power who have the ability to use all the systems. I'm not talking about the justice system alone. I mean, the IRS, we've seen it. We've seen the way that they've used the CDC and the FDA and the education system to try to separate people on political lines. The only thing that matters to these people, and there are, would you agree, Republicans who are participating in this system?
Always have been.
This is not any conservative going off on the Democrats again for polarizing the system. Nope. It's the swamp. It's the people who are part of what the term that I'm hearing a lot lately, the uniparty, is there to perpetuate a system where on this top tier level, the Republicans and Democrats can playfully fight over every 2 years power. There's a power struggle. It's going to be close. But at the end of the day, they're going to compromise on things like a debt ceiling bill. They're going to compromise on things like spending money in foreign countries to help fight proxy wars. They're going to compromise on things that you're sitting here going, golly, that really seems like that should be a pretty strong conservative principle that we wouldn't compromise ourselves on. And the left is going, man, what about the climate? Why are we compromising on this? You would think that in principle, you would go to and stand by those principles because you've been selling it hard in the election season. It's not, to me, it's not about the R's and the D's, the reds and the blues. As long as we sit on this side and wait for government to solve our problems, it doesn't matter who's in control. It doesn't matter if it's the Republicans or Democrats. Who's in control? Not you. That is the American distinction. It's supposed to be you. And when somebody like Merrick Garland can go in front of a podium and say these things that are enraging to hear, and I'm not saying they're enraging to hear because I don't like the fact that Merrick Garland is exposing this stuff. What I'm talking about is the idea that he's only willing to do it, not if it benefits the people of Minneapolis. He's only willing to do it if it benefits him. What are we doing here? And if you put a Republican in there and they're doing the same thing, equally outrageous. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost participating as a listener because I agree so much with what you're saying. And these are issues that just, they hit you right in the chest. You know, these aren't head issues. These are heart issues. And they make people mad, I think, across the board. And even the Trump indictment stuff kind of falls into this unequal justice that we're seeing across the board. And I just keep coming back to this phrase of selective spotlighting, which is what Merrick Garland is doing because he knows that when you hear those things, you do react. You do get upset that these things could happen. But they're painting a picture for you that you have to go into deep research to find. I mean, Brad, you were talking about some other cases, even in Minneapolis.
Within this press conference, the very first case that he mentioned, he talked about an officer who was startled by a woman and he shot her. He didn't mention the race of the officer and he didn't mention the race of the woman that was shot. The person that shot that woman, the officer that shot them, was Mohammed Noor. He was a Somali immigrant and he was startled by her when she walked up after calling 911, was startled by her and he shot her. Her name was Justine Damond. She was a 40-year-old Australian American. She had dual citizenship. She was a white woman with blonde hair. Merrick Garland, within this press conference, made sure to know that what that officer said to those Somali teenagers, you knew it was Somali teenagers that this was said to. But whenever he mentioned it with this white woman and this Somali officer, he didn't mention the other way.
He didn't mention that the officer was Somali and that the woman was white.
Right.
That was not important to the story.
No, but it shows it's still important that happened because it shows a problem within the Minneapolis Police Department. But what that doesn't say, what that is evidence against is that this is a race problem. It is a policing problem. It is a leadership problem. It is a systematic problem or something like that. But because that flies in the face of what narrative it seems like he's trying to push, I assume he didn't want to mention that, which I think is important information. I mean, if we're going to share information, like Ryan said, selective highlighting, let's share it all. Let's talk about all of it. Otherwise, let's issue the report and let it be.
Ultimately, what it says is these people don't actually have any interest in solving discrimination. They have an interest, like you were saying, in making sure that you stay mad for the reasons that keep them in the place that they're at. They don't want to actually solve your problems.
Motive and intent.
Yes.
Bottom line. Are you glad that they released this information about the Minneapolis Police Department? The American people need to know uncomfortable things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I am happy, but I just want it to be. I want to be presented with the facts because I want to be able to make decisions based on actual facts, not spun narrative facts.
Should the manifesto be made public?
Yes. Well, if you're going to do all of it, do all of it. Don't just do what you want.
Do you believe that the manifesto is not made public right now because they're protecting transgender people?
Because I think if the reasons that they give, whether it be, there's sensitive information about other schools and stuff like that, the names of the schools can be redacted and stuff like that, and you can protect those schools and still release, and we can understand the why behind the attack. You don't have to not release the whole thing, but you can definitely release enough of it and with the proper information to release the why, because that's what we really want to know. We want to know the why.
Here's what I know. I don't trust any of them.
Mm-mm.
And I don't trust your intentions. And I could do an entire week's worth of shows with anecdotes as to why I don't trust them. You talked about, selective reporting, what we do find out, what we don't find out. It's what the media does. It's the worst kind of biased reporting. It's not what they say. It's whether they choose to say anything at all. If you watched from 2016 through the entirety of Donald Trump's presidency, how the people on CNN and the people on MSNBC and then the other outlets that are incredibly left-leaning and openly so, if you watched how they obsessed over the Donald Trump-Vladimir Putin relationship and how it was so obvious, Adam Schiff is an elected official who wants to upgrade to the Senate. If you watched what he was doing and how they were so willing, they couldn't get enough Adam Schiff on their channels, and they were making the whole thing up. Now tune into those networks and see if they're interested in Hunter Biden, in Joe Biden, in 1023s, in, leaks. Where are the leaks? Where are the leaks? I don't know if the answer is to release everything or to only selectively release things that should be good for the American people to consume. I don't trust them with that decision because they've proven that their judgment is not in the best interest of the American people. And today was another example. Seems like the Minneapolis Police Department has some work to do. And I'm not here to say that what was in that report was not true. I have no basis to do that. And if that stuff is accurate, if that's happening in any police departments around here, I would want it to be outed because I would want it to be fixed. But you can't just do it when it's politically expedient for you. And that is what we see over and over and over again in this country. And it's disgusting. What's Wiggins America today?
It's very different.
I didn't read the DM.
It's gonna be a hard departure, so I hope you're ready.
Give me a one-word tease.
Having female
One word.
Women.
Man, that's broad. You know what I'm saying? We'll be right back.
Nice.
Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
CAJonesinc.com, improving lives through quality homes and community involvement. The CA Jones homes, I think I've been in 4 CA Jones homes. I mean, that I know of. I might have been in other ones. Maybe I've been in your house and you had it built by CA Jones. I just didn't know it. Their customization, first of all, if you go to their Fairview Heights location that they have where you can walk in, they've got all these models set up so you can walk in and see, here are some of the options in your kitchen, the cabinet faces, the countertops, the like faucets, the handles, everything that you want to customize so that when you walk into your home and you've established it as your new cozy place that you're going to live, it's going to look like your place, not a carbon copy, rip and read type of a home that they've built a million other times. They're just absolutely gorgeous homes. And their energy efficiency is second to none. They provide a 10-year builder limited warranty, including a lifetime waterproof basement warranty, and they are Energy Star certified. If you're looking to build a home in Illinois, please consider my friends at CA Jones. You'll be very glad that you had the conversation with them. Start it online at cajonesinc.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free. free and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. No one should be injured or be the victim of assault when using a rideshare service. These companies need to be held accountable.
Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
When it comes to finding the perfect grill, family-owned and operated Cotton's Ace Hardware has you covered. Get free delivery and free fuel on any grills over $300, and free assembly and haul away of your old grills with the purchase of a new one. With a selection from Weber to Traeger and your local retailer of the Big Green Egg, Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. Let Cotton's Ace Hardware make your family barbecue more enjoyable with that one-of-a-kind grill you've been looking for. Find your nearest St. Louis area location at cottonsacehardware.com.
Come to the enchanted attic. Come to the enchanted attic. Come to the enchanted attic.
Diane, what are you doing?
I'm chanting. Come to the enchanted attic.
But why do you keep saying come to the enchanted attic?
Duh, because it works like magic. Tony, every time I say come to the enchanted attic, people show up at our store.
Well, you can keep chanting if you want to, but I know why people shop at our store.
And I know what you're going to say. It's those healing gemstone mugs you picked out.
Yes.
And our large crystal and stone collection that you picked out.
Yes.
But what about our unique silver and gemstone jewelry?
That you picked out?
Yeah.
Well, it is pretty amazing.
So come to the Enchanted Attic, 304 South Main Street in historic St. Charles, 636-949-9502. Free gift with every purchase. We love this store.
Hey, you. Yes, you. We want to know what you think. Will there be a viable third-party candidate entering the POTUS race? Yes or no? That is the Annie Frey Show YouTube poll of the day. You can vote, and we will tell you the results at the end of the show. The time right now, 12:52. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Connect with the personalities and give your feedback. 97.1 FM Talk is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For content that's additional to the radio, join us there. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
Remix.
That was Nelly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Good
great
job.
Look at you. You know what? You live and you learn. Then you get loves.
That's true.
That's a good campaign because I just rolled right with it.
Loves are made by the same people who make Pampers. P&G.
Oh, yeah? Same assembly line?
Cheaper.
Rolling them off?
Yep. We're a Loves family.
Good to know. We're a Walmart family. Parent's choice. So this came
We're
out.
talking about diapers for the people who don't know what we're discussing.
Right. This came out earlier this week, and, some people have talked about it, but it was such a good topic that I thought, I got to bring this up, and we hadn't had a chance this week. So if you've seen it, you've heard it maybe, but I want to talk about it. There was a woman who just identified herself as a liberal woman on TikTok. She came out
Is
and
that
said...
in the lowercase identifying?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know that she was capitalizing liberal because I don't think she was saying she was any sort of political party associated
Not
with it.
transgender.
No,
Okay.
no, just saying she is a liberal-leaning woman.
Okay.
In fact, she kept saying things like she was a modern woman, that kind of stuff. So she came out and said that she's having trouble finding good men. Here's the first clip.
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide, who is not a conservative.
So, alpha, beta.
Sounds like it.
I mean, conservative, liberal. Yeah.
But she is specifically saying that politics are tied to some of these traditional male role things.
Yeah, maybe he's holding the door open for you because he's nice, not because he thinks you're inferior.
Yeah.
I can't. Wow.
I'm just saying.
I really did want to know what Hannah thought about this because I'm a little bit removed from the dating scene.
I can't believe that.
I am. You'd be surprised with as many like DMs as I get.
What do you look for in a man, Ryan?
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and let Hannah answer that question.
I can't believe that she is stereotyping everybody to like think that only conservative men have those like respectable values. I mean, for conservative men, they're probably like, okay, great. But I don't even know. I've never dated a liberal, never would, so I don't really know how they act, but
I wish I wouldn't have laughed because that was a great clean cut we could use at some point on the show. Yeah, here's the second clip.
And obviously, as a liberal woman, I do want to be respected for my independence. And I do want to have my own autonomy in the relationship and not be confined or conform to the traditional female homemaker, childbearing role.
Just, can I interject for a minute?
Please. That's kind of the point.
Who's the sexist here? Because what did she just identify me as?
Yeah. Kind of where I was headed
she's
to.
bashing her own party too, like at the same time. She's making no good points.
I gotta tell you, I don't even know her life, and I think mine stacks up just fine.
Last clip from Liberal
In the
Woman.
words of the wise sage Charlie Sheen, winning.
And most of the men that I've dated who do have that more natural provider masculinity about them are normally conservative. So I don't really know what to do because I don't want to compromise my morals and values just to find a man. But am I asking to have my cake and eat it too?
Yeah, kind of.
No, what she's saying there is that the most important thing in a man is his politics. That's what she's saying.
Well, she's saying that, I think it's just funny that she's saying that her values are things like not being told stay in the kitchen.
And my husband won't stop.
Yeah, your
telling
husband's
me to
conservative.
get out of the kitchen,
Yeah.
honestly. He cooks.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going with that.
No, I'm just telling her, like, wake the heck up and stop with all of your preconceived judgments about who people are and prioritize something other than your liberal autonomy loneliness.
Big question for like 30 seconds here, but is masculinity a choice?
No. I think it's a choice to set it aside. I think it's inherent. And it doesn't look the same.
No, it doesn't.
Like, take, for instance, you two.
You're pointing at me and Hannah.
Let's talk more about this when we come back. If you have a thought or a comment on this, what was your question? Is masculinity
a choice?
A choice. It's an interesting question. If you've got thoughts on this, we're going to read through your comments and maybe we'll pop some up when we return here on the Annie Frey Show. Make sure while you are commenting on the Annie Frey YouTube channel that in that live chat poll, will a viable third-party candidate enter the POTUS race? Let us know, yes or no. Back in a minute.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Possible death sentence for an anti-Semitic killing spree. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. A Pittsburgh jury returning 63 guilty verdicts against Robert Bowers, The man charged in the nation's deadliest anti-Semitic attack.
He was charged with a hate crime resulting in death, as well as obstruction of the free exercise of religion resulting in death. 11 people were killed at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh back in 2018 when he walked in with an AR-15 and shot over 100 rounds, reloaded twice, and allegedly told police that he only stopped because he ran out of ammunition.
Fox's Nate Foy. That same jury will now decide whether Bowers gets the death penalty or is sentenced to life in prison. The Justice Department has found that Minneapolis police engaged in a pattern of violating constitutional rights and discriminating against Black and Native American people. The findings announced today by Attorney General Merrick Garland and follows a 2-year investigation prompted by the killing of George Floyd during an arrest in 2020. A nuclear-powered American submarine is now in South Korean waters days after North Korea's latest ballistic missile tests.
The USS Michigan has some serious firepower. It's able to hold about 150 Tomahawk missiles, and its arrival is the first of its kind in 6 years. At a recent summit, President Biden and South Korea's president agreed to making their, quote, strategic assets more visible. The two countries and Japan have been working together on military drills as North Korea continues to show aggressive behavior.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. U.S. officials say the Department of Energy is among a small number of federal agencies compromised in a Russian cyber extortion gang's global hack of a file transfer program popular with corporations and governments. They say the impact is not expected to be great. America's listening to Fox News.
Simply Safe was named Best Home Security of 2023 by U.S. News and World Report. But we don't do what we do for the accolades. We do it to protect you and everything you love. Our advanced sensors, indoor and outdoor HD cameras, and hazard detectors are powered by live 24/7 professional monitoring, so you get emergency help fast. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly sunny skies with a little bit of haze and smoke in the upper atmosphere. 90 this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear. Pretty nice. 60 degrees for the low, 80s for evening plans. Saturday, partly sunny and 88. Nothing more than a spot storm. Saturday, a dry day with scattered showers and thunderstorms anytime on Sunday, but especially the afternoon. The high Sunday for Father's Day, 88. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here because ideas change the world. St. Louis is home for conservative talk. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Air Comfort Service wants you to stay in your comfort zone, and you know what it's like when the air conditioner's not blowing the cold air that you need, and you got to make that phone call. It's not really a fun phone call to make. They get it. They know it. That's what they told me when we had to make that phone call at the Frey home. It's 314-513-0091. I got good news, though. If you're looking to replace your air conditioning unit right now, through the end of June, We're already past the halfway point in June, folks. Through the end of June, you can save $1,550 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates on qualifying systems. You can save up to that amount. Plus, you can qualify for 0% financing for up to 72 months. You might even be eligible for utility rebates and tax credits. Air Comfort Service works really, really well and really, really hard to make sure that you're going to be taken care of when you go through this process. You're going to get back in your comfort zone, and they'll have you reviewing them just like so many other people have on Google reviews, wanting other people to know, hey, if you have to make this choice, you'll want to go to Air Comfort Service. They're going to be in with us here at 2 o'clock for X's and O's. Can't wait to see Corey and Kendra again of Air Comfort Service. Great partners with us here on the Annie Frey Show, and the very best when it comes to your HVAC needs. AirComfortService.com.
This is Dan McLaughlin, inviting you to the 21st Annual Dan McLaughlin Golf Tournament to benefit the Special Education Foundation. This tournament has raised over $5 million, and 100% of the money raised has gone to children with special needs in our community. To sponsor, volunteer, or to play in the event on October 9th at Norwood Hills Country Club, please visit sef-stl.org. I'll see you on October 9th at Norwood Hills Country Club.
Zero Res has the best deal of the summer for you right now. 20% off all services, carpets, tiles, rugs, upholstery, and air ducts. Call right now, 474-2020, or book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Ask for the Mark Reardon special. Zero Res, you spell it backward or forward, it spells the same.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. If you didn't hear the Merrick Garland press conference from earlier today, the very important, pressing press conference about their investigation into the Minneapolis Police Department, you can rewind on the Odyssey app and listen to us. We played a ton of clips from it and get our take because I think it's a really, really interesting. It's very similar to the conversation about Donald Trump being indicted, classified documents, blah, blah, blah. And then, oh, yeah, but her emails and but Joe Biden's Corvette. How many times, how many different subjects can we talk about? They do it this way for conservatives. They do it this way for liberals.
Selective spotlighting.
All the time. And this is just yet another example of it. It's important to follow up that conversation, though, with which one do you want? Because I am not going to participate in, I've been saying, you know, Hillary's emails and all of the compromising nature that goes along with that should be prosecuted or should be looked into or exposed or whatever. You can't have been pounding your fist on the table for that for 10 years or however long it was, and now be like, guess it doesn't matter. It's either about principle or it's about politics. It's rarely both.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, you do have to, if you're going to do it equally, you have to decide what equal looks like. And I actually go the complete opposite direction from that. And I think Brad says this too. The opposite of me would be what you say too.
What?
Is that, hang on.
I'm so confused right now.
Brad's like, I disagree and I'm not sure why.
Well, what I'm saying is I think
an alien
both
again.
of you guys are saying that all of it should be prosecuted. I go the opposite direction and I say that none of it should be prosecuted. If you are the president, if you are the vice president, possibly even Secretary of State, but certainly those two, president and vice president, because they're elected positions, none of that should be prosecuted with classified documents because you are there to look at those. So I just think, and I've taken a lot of heat from people saying, well, there's a big difference between president and vice president.
So you think that Joe Biden's documents in his garage and Hillary Clinton's emails on Huma Abedin's computer, no problem?
Well, the idea that you would have them accessible to foreign governments is something that you want to look out for, but that's also why they're in those positions,
No,
is that
but
they should be able to do that on their own.
the only problem is that their lack of concern and respect for the nature of the classified portion of those documents was not cared for in a way that protected adversaries from accessing them. That's the only problem, because you're allowed to possess these documents as long as it's done in the way that is set out as responsible possession.
Well, I don't know that you are allowed to possess those documents. I think that's what they're discovering right now, is that Donald Trump should be allowed to, but they're saying, no, he can't.
No, so what I'm reading from the Clinton Sock case and the Espionage Act and the Presidential Records Act, what I'm hearing from a lot of legal experts is that, one, the Espionage Act was passed when Calvin Coolidge was president, and it was never intended to be applied to a sitting or former president of the United States, because since that time, for like however many years that's been, up until the passage of the Presidential Records Act, there was no prosecution of any president over that, no matter what classified documents they took with them. The other side of that is, though, that Clinton used the Presidential Records Act as a defense, and he had highly classified, highly sensitive material.
Bill Clinton.
Yes. On those tapes that he took with him. And the ruling that the judge said was he gets to decide, the president gets to decide what is and isn't his material for presidential records. Not classified or declassified. He gets to decide what he takes with him. So based on those
specifically, the president.
The president. So whenever you look at Hillary Clinton, you look at Joe Biden, when you look at Mike Pence, when they allegedly took those documents or had mishandled those classified information, they didn't have the Presidential Records Act to defend them, nor did they have the ability to declassify. As a matter of fact, somebody even suggested that Joe Biden, to take those records that he had, it would have been when he was a senator, he would have had to take them out of a SCIF, which is really bad. So they're not the same case. They involve classified documents. They're not the same case.
The spirit of the law is to protect our national interests,
Exactly.
the people who provide us the information, and to make sure that we continue to be able to acquire information with people who trust us, to be able to maintain the secrecy of said information and therefore preserve the lives of the people. So the implication would be that any and all of these people, the former president and the other people included, disrespected that.
Yeah. And I think the way that I disagree with a lot of people on this is in saying who has the enforcement mechanism of that. Because I agree that we should be keeping these things if they're of utmost national security, which I have a lot of questions about because the FBI redacts basically everything in the name of national security. But these are people that should have access to those documents. If they're keeping them unsafely, then what's the enforcement of that? I don't think it should be that the FBI gets to go after these people and prosecute them. I think it should be that the FBI goes to them and says, we know that you're keeping these unsafe. Do something about it.
That's what they did to Trump.
But now they're saying that I'm trying to put him in jail now. So they should not have the ability to do that.
But what you're saying is that's what the FBI should go do. The FBI did that multiple times, and he didn't comply.
And that is his right as a president, is what I'm saying. And Hillary Clinton, as even maybe Secretary of State, I'm saying she could choose to do something unsafe.
She can't have possession of that information.
I know that's what we're saying, is that the FBI is the ultimate authority on these things, and I disagree with that. I think the elected positions should have the ultimate authority on these things.
I don't get it.
What are you arguing, that the FBI shouldn't be the final say on what is and isn't classified?
Correct. I'm arguing that the president and possibly vice president, Secretary of State gets a little watery there.
Well, you're trying to say that the law should be changed, but you can't have that conversation about what we should do now if you want the law to be changed.
Well, I think the law itself, we've been talking about this for almost a year now. The law itself is murky on who has ultimate authority on these things. I think we're figuring that out right now.
The reason that everything is so murky is because nobody saw fit to prosecute anybody on anything like this before. If we would have, then we would kind of know where we're going with this.
Which goes back to the original point, is when you have selective application of the law based on political means, and it's get Trump at all costs. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do something about it or not? And that's what the American people are so sick and tired of, is the idea that wrong isn't necessarily wrong. There's a lot of things that depend.
Yeah. And to your point, I like to use the example of the argument that at the end of a sporting event, when the game's close and it's on the line, the refs should swallow the whistle and not blow the whistle. I disagree with that. The rules are the rules in a game. I look at these presidential records and classified documents and everything like that the same. Either it's illegal to have them or it's not. And if it is illegal, it doesn't matter who has them, regardless if they're presidential candidate, vice president, current candidate, whatever. You can't have them, therefore you should be prosecuted on them. So we either prosecute everybody, and it is a rule and a law, or we prosecute nobody because it isn't really a law. But you can't do one or the other. And I think that if we want to protect national security, we prosecute.
And I'm just saying the opposite. I think that the prosecuting nobody, at least at that level, who've had the right to have those documents, that's the way that we should.
The House representatives, who are brand new freshman representatives, have the right to see these documents and in that way possess those documents. But a freshman level House representative doesn't have any more permission to possess these things outside of the context of how we protect our information than a Secretary of State or Vice President. The President is the only one who has the distinction.
Well, yeah, I mean, but those people haven't taken them home. They are looking at them in a skiff or whatever.
Joe Biden did, as a senator.
So are we talking about when he took documents home as a senator or as vice president?
Yes.
Yes, both.
So there has to be some sort of line there drawn, although
There is a line drawn. It's the Presidential Act that allows presidents to do things that only presidents can do. Everybody else is on the other side of that line.
Yeah, I just think that if you have access to these documents as an elected official, what I'm trying to get at is not necessarily here is how exactly we do this, but I think there should be a distinction between people who have been elected and have direct accountability to voters who we say, you have the right to go look at these things. We've said it because we voted for them. Versus the FBI or DOJ, who has no accountability to us at all. That's kind of the overall point.
The FBI has accountability to the President of the United States, who is elected.
Well, they didn't look like they did when Trump was in. They looked like they were doing whatever they wanted.
But that's part of the problem. And that's the thing, when you hear Ron DeSantis say, well, when you hear Donald Trump say, I don't need 8 years, I can do in 6 months what needs to be done. And Ron DeSantis is like, well, then why didn't you do it? You could have done it. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
He didn't pull the weeds in the swamp. And now we see what happens. I mean, but that's the point. The president has to be in there and willing to fire people if they aren't doing their job. And that's why they answer to the president, because they're in the purview of the executive branch.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that what you're making distinction between the president and vice president and secretary of state, I think there is something to that because of the Presidential Records Act. And I mean, this is all stuff we're learning about as we go here. But I think just overall, what I'm saying is that even with Trump, he campaigned on there being a deep state and then didn't root it out, which is a problem. I think during Trump's term, he, along with America, realized how big of a problem that actually is. And it was almost too late by the time he got to the end of his term to really do anything about it.
I don't understand, but what does that have to do with whether or not everybody who mishandled these classified documents should be prosecuted or should not be prosecuted?
Why would we throw our hands up in the air and be like, everybody's cool?
Yeah. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. It's the deep state. Oh, that's what got us into this mess to begin with. The
two-tier system is the problem.
Yep. Put them all on trial. Let the jury sort them out. Looking at what you're right, maybe in the cases, maybe Trump has the best defense of any of these. And the defense is, well, they gave him back without obstructing. They weren't supposed to have him to begin with.
Yeah, that's like if somebody comes in and investigates you for murder, being like, well, the murder weapon's right there. And they're like, we complied.
Yeah, I stole this $50 million from the bank, but I put it back.
Yeah.
So
You still did it. And are we okay with it or aren't we? Do we have to check the political voting record before we determine which way we're going to do it? It doesn't. I don't really get it. Is masculinity a choice? Didn't really get.
In light of this conversation,
we can do that in the next
segment.
We can ask you.
We've got Ask Me Anything coming up. So if you want to ask us a question, you get on the Annie Frey YouTube channel and join us there. You can just put question or whatever in the comments. Hannah will read some of those. We've got some of our questions as well. We can get to that too. So stick around. More Annie Frey Show. When we come back, don't forget X's and O's at 2 o'clock with Corey and Kendra of Air Comfort Service. We'll be back in a minute.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
No one will know. Oh, come on, girl.
FullyDentalGroup.com. If you are looking for a new dentist, then you check out FullyDentalGroup.com. You're going to see that they have a bunch of dentists there, and they are accepting new patients. Reach out to them at 618-288-9670, 618-288-9670, and you can connect with them and get a new patient appointment set up quickly. They're seeing patients just down the road from their previous location in a brand new, beautiful office. They provide a positive patient experience for each and every client that walks in, whether you are elderly down to the little kiddos that go there as well. My family, all of us go to Fully Dental Group. They're going to treat you with a whole health approach through your dental care that is going to give you a lot of bang for your buck. Whether you have a missing tooth, missing teeth situation, and you've been looking for a better solution for implants that can give you the confidence you need in your smile, if you have sleep disordered breathing that needs to be rectified, or if you just need a cleaning and you haven't been to the dentist in a while, you reach out to Fully Dental Group. They're going to get you in, and you're going to be glad that you chose Fully, like the Frey family did. 618-288-9670, online at FullyDentalGroup.com.
Now's the time to get started on that next outdoor project at your house with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Mark Cox here from my friends at Chesterfield Fence. You're going to love this company. They're locally owned and operated since 1968. And if you have their sign in your front yard, it's a sign you have the very best. Stop by their showroom in Chesterfield. Take a look at their beautiful wood and vinyl fences. If you need a deck, they have the beautiful cedar, of course, but that Vecadec vinyl decking, no maintenance. It's fantastic. They've got lots of great deals. 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. When you mention you heard Mark Cox talking about this, they have custom sunrooms, screen rooms, pergolas, patios, even retaining walls they can work on for you. And of course, Better Business Bureau accredited business with an A+ rating. Call them today at 636-532-4054. or go online at chesterfieldfence.com.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people, and much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2023. Save 60%. Code 2023. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you are nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
This is a message for all St. Louis Metro homeowners. If you want to sell your house, but only the thought of it gives you a headache, Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis has great news for you. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis can help you avoid any headache and will buy your house for cash in as-is condition, and you won't even have to do any repairs, cleaning, or paying any fees. Just call 314-782-8000 for a fast and easy solution and sell your house today. Chris buys all kinds of houses, inherited houses, vacant houses, fixer-uppers, and also beautiful houses. All you need to do is call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis at 314-782-8000 and let Chris take care of everything for you. Call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis 314-782-8000 and get the peace of mind you deserve.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to $1,550 in carrier rebates and get 0% financing for up to 72 months on a new HVAC system. Rebates end June 30th. For details, aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Gabe Gore, the new circuit attorney in St. Louis.
I'm focused first and foremost on getting our office back to where our attorneys are showing up where they're supposed to be and prepared to do what they need to do.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Raise 'em up. I'm talking about a louder on a Saturday night. The band plays a song you like and you sing along. Raise 'em up.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
Pickup truck, shotgun seat. There's the one you love and you're kissing on.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We are glad that you're here with us. Happy Friday. Happy to be able to say that with you. A reminder, you can stream us on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Follow 97.1 FM Talk. You can subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast there if you don't have a podcast provider already. Happy to have you. On the top right of the app, you'll see it says follow or something. Is that what it says? Like,
yeah, I'm sure
love,
you got it. You got it exactly right.
Fanboy, fangirl.
Hit the fanboy button.
Mm-hmm. First, ask me anything. Do you have the Odyssey app on your phone? That'd be a good one.
You have to ask me nicely. Don't make me beg here.
Ask me anything.
Tell me the truth! I do, but my favorite way to listen is through the live stream on YouTube.
Or just the old-fashioned radio.
Good old radio.
Brian, you had a question first?
I do. Timely because of what's going on in the city of St. Louis. So with the resignation and replacement of Kim Gardner, are you going to alter any of your habits as far as doing things downtown? Will that affect you?
No.
Yeah. There's
it's
no
take
way.
a lot more than one person.
There's no
to
like
change my
magic
habits.
wand that is being waved right
it's
now.
not
I wish
like
there could be, but there's just not.
It's not like there's a switch that was flipped. You're going to have to wait for this prosecutor to prosecute and that to then start altering behavior of criminals. And then once people start feeling safe, then
are you?
Maybe that.
I think a message has been sent. I need evidence that it's been received.
Yeah, I don't think the criminals even understand that Kim Gardner was removed, so I think something will have to be in place for longer. I want it to change, but I don't think it's there yet. I wish it was, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I have a question. What is your favorite thing that you have covered in your radio career? What's your favorite thing that you've talked about or reported on or reacted to?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I know.
Especially for Brad.
All right, Ryan, you go first. Fancy pants. Your illustrious broadcast career.
My favorite thing in radio that I've covered
I know the
was
answer to this now.
actually it was when Pujols decided to. I think it was when he decided to sign with the Angels in 2011. Is that right?
It was after 2011
or 2012.
We won in 2011.
Yeah,
he left.
So
after
when
that.
he made that announcement, he got to make it on the station that I was at, and I got to break it basically digitally to the whole world. So on air, I didn't have a whole lot to do with it.
So this has nothing to do with radio.
But no, not the radio part.
So you got to be part of the worst day of a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, I got to be.
That was your favorite thing.
Awesome.
It was just because everybody was asking me, ooh, can I get a clip? And I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Brad, what about you?
Man, there's just so much that goes on, but it seems like a lot of the news that we've covered since I've been on the station has not been like, oh, this is awesome news. So I don't know. The most interesting thing I think for me to cover was whenever we were covering local Illinois politics, and we brought up that story about Kevin Schmidt and
Kevin Schmidt for king.
Yeah.
yeah, and then. Actually, people we've talked to have said that they
helped.
think that we actually may have tipped the scales in his favor, and he ended up winning. So
he's the only one
in
the state,
which is really cool.
And he beat LaToya Greenwood in East St. Louis. We got the chiropractor elected in that newly drawn district, and I don't know that we got it. That's bold to say, but I think we helped. I don't think we hurt.
Yeah.
My favorite thing I've ever covered in radio was Donald Trump winning in 2016. That was an out of body experience, not because I was so in love with Donald Trump, but because we went in doing the 97.1 thing, like Yeah, I mean, when you are doing an election night coverage with 97.1, it is a lot to go in. I was the digital brand manager at the time, but I also had my Saturday show. So I was lurking around the building trying to put everything on the internet and come in with updates and stuff here and there. And it wasn't, I mean, I don't know. It might have been 11 o'clock where I thought to myself, I don't think Hillary Clinton is going to win. And it was jaw-droppingly shocking. And to be here with all of the people covering that and watching it happen and starting to consider, like, this is going to be freaking wild. Donald Trump is going to be the president. Like, I remember thinking to myself, President Trump? Like, I can't even say those words together. It hadn't occurred to me, and then it did. And then we all strolled out at Union Station to our cars at like 2-something in the morning, and we're like, see you tomorrow. It was just like the craziest thing.
Man.
And you cover something like that with people, and you know they're you love the people you're covering it with, and you just get to share. It's just, I mean, it's like sharing a World Series victory with people and being there together at the same time. That was just, is a core memory.
My favorite thing I've ever talked about on air was post-Trump rally. Talking about that whole experience was really fun for me. I loved going to the Trump rally and shooting content there, being with Annie and the crew, and just experiencing something like that for the first time was great. And I loved coming on that Monday and sharing all those stories. That was by far my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
I've talked about.
Chris just said, I was listening to this show during January 6th, 2021.
Yeah.
That happened literally while we were on.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened.
And that was
You would have been a
intense.
listener.
Yeah, I was in the chat. I was in the chat with Chris.
Yeah. That was very wild. And we did do a lot of go to national news. When something that big and broad happens, they are watching and reacting.
And some of them are there.
Well, they are watching and reacting from an anchor desk, and they didn't have people there. Like they were watching people climb up the Capitol building and reporting on it. And what I would be doing to report on that, because I was broadcasting from my basement, would be watching the people watch the thing, reporting it. There's nothing that I can really offer because I don't have information, and I'm not going to pontificate and guess. Mark Cox was there. We had somebody there because he went to see the president. He and when we talked to him, it's really interesting because when we talked to him, he was on the other side of the building. He didn't even know what was going on, which there are so many people like Mark who went there because they love their country and they loved Donald Trump that had no idea what was going on. And the Democrats have so successfully branded it as anybody who ever voted for a conservative ever, you know, I literally know people who don't talk to other people in their family because they say if you voted for Trump, you are an insurrectionist. Unbelievable. And ignorant. I'll just add that part. Did you have a question, Brad?
Yeah. So this one, I like this one because it tells me a little bit about you without you having to tell me everything about you.
Oh, boy. It sounds like something I don't want an answer.
Yeah. Would you rather have, let's see, would you rather be an extra in an Oscar-winning movie or the lead in a box office bomb?
Neither.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. If I'm thinking long term, I don't want to be in a bomb because your career after a bomb, i.e. Mike Myers in The Love Guru, is over. You have no career after a bomb. But it would be fun to be the lead in a movie. So if I'm just doing it for fun.
I think the opposite. I would not want to be the lead. I'd be good to be a...
It would be awful, though, if you put all this work into a movie.
Which pays more money?
Oh, the lead.
But what if it's a bomb?
Well, it didn't matter. The contract was signed. They didn't know it was going to be a bomb.
Since I have no interest in that type of a career ever, I want the most lucrative one. I just need to do it once.
Yeah, exactly.
Get paid, go home, back to my remote, resolute, boring Christian wife, conservative life.
Annie the trad wife.
Okay, we have a question coming in from the chat. Kim wants to know, did you guys ever find your chocolate?
Yes!
That's her first question.
We're going to try it today.
Oh,
we are?
Yay!
Yeah.
I didn't know that we even found it. I'm so happy.
2:45, we are going to have chocolate tasting. Results to the YouTube live chat poll. Will a viable third-party candidate enter the presidential race, yes or no? And a big announcement about the show at 2:45. Big stuff happening.
I can't wait because I don't know any of it.
I'm excited for the show. chocolate. Lori Feltz wants to know, do you guys have a favorite dish? If so, what is it? Hers is lasagna, so she would like to know ours. Wiggins, go.
Andrea's filet mignon.
Ching, ching.
Yeah, okay. Next, Brad.
I'm going to say Andrea's filet mignon if you're looking for a new spokesperson. No. I really like a hamburger, a really good burger with fries. It's probably my favorite.
What was that
dish.
reaction, Hannah?
Yum. That makes me hungry. I would have to say it's a toss-up between pizza and a good cheeseburger. I'm going Cyberg's cheeseburger.
Is this a favorite meal or a favorite? He says dish. I'm not gonna say. I'm changing it. I'm changing because I can do what I want. Leave me alone. Brunch, because brunch is a sum total.
Oh, that makes sense.
So breakfast food that I don't have to get up early for.
That's
fair.
That's a great one.
Waffles, really good scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Really good bacon, fresh fruit. Best meal ever. Last meal. I have one.
Okay.
Do you use pet names?
What does that
For
mean?
my wife or my pets?
You don't know what a pet name is?
Like, is that when you're dating someone and you call them like boo boo or something?
I mean, I don't. Yes. Babe,
Boo-boo.
honey, dear.
I think this might come to a surprise to people, but I do not like pet names.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
At all. I would never want anybody to call me
babe,
baby, or anything. That just makes me cringe. I don't like that. Call me Hannah.
So I don't really know how to answer this question because I wouldn't consider what I call Terry pet names because there's not the traditional.
Are you allowed to say it on the air?
Yeah.
Pumpkin butt.
Come here, pumpkin butt.
Is it pumpkin
That
butt?
would be a
Pumpkin butt is a great nickname or a little pet name for a baby, though.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
When you're talking to babies, you just say the dumbest things.
Yeah.
And you don't care. You're just happy.
I call her wife sometimes, and she calls me husband. Other times I call her Terry, T-Bone, just nickname stuff like that. But it's never like,
Bruh.
never honey, babe, sugar.
I would say wife is a pet name.
So then, yes.
Boop.
Boop,
That's
beanbag.
fine.
Wiggins calls his wife Bay. Probably not Brian, but maybe. What about you, Ryan?
Not really. I think I mostly just call her Katie. I might slip in a honey every now and then. I don't
When you
think I
say
do.
it, are you saying it endearingly? You're asking for something when it comes out.
Oh, my pet name for her is woman.
You too, wife and woman. Are you
I've
kidding
used
me?
woman before as well. About woman.
Woman?
My sister dated a guy who would call her old lady, and I hated it. I was like,
Did she like it?
I don't know. She didn't really have a reaction, but
It only
every time he
matters-
said that, I was like,
It only matters what the pet thinks about it. If your wife likes that you call her wife and other people hate it, that's too bad. You don't get to have a say. Woman, does Katie like it when you say woman?
She better.
Hesitation.
yeah, uh-oh.
What does she call you?
I don't think she calls me anything.
Probably not man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you drunk.
Right.
No, I don't think she. I think. You know what? I just said this the other day. I think we've gotten to the habit now of once in a while calling each other mom and dad, which I
We
do
talked
not
about
like.
that.
I don't like that we are doing that, but it is very easy.
Jared calls me dear a lot.
I think I've heard him say that.
I think he says that because,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I think one time I said, I don't know. I don't even know what. I'm not. No, I don't do pet names. Not on purpose. But one of them came out of my mouth and he just stopped what he was doing and stared at me like, something wrong. Do we need to talk? I might say dear every once in a while, but I'm not a pet name person.
Do you use them for your kids?
I feel like that's different.
Yeah,
It is.
I feel
do.
like that's so different than your partner.
I used to call Charlie pumpkin pie, Jensen apple pie, Evelyn cherry pie. But that was when they were littler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if they would know that I did that.
Evelyn's like funfetti.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't know. I screw around with my kids a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
my kids run the gauntlet every day because I like to keep them sharp. But I don't know. Okay, anybody else have a question?
Here's a question from Bobo Farms. Is there anything that Illinois would do that would make you finally leave, or what would be the last straw that would convince you to move? Is there anything?
Yeah. I mean, the number one reason I'm in Illinois right now is because of family. Because my parents and my husband's parents live very close to us, and we are very close to our family. So that's why I'm there. And I'm not going to be like, sorry, love you, Mom and Dad, but taxes are too high, and I'd rather move to Missouri to pay lower taxes and be further from you. That doesn't interest me. I'm going to fight like heck to get them lower, of course, to probably my own detriment. But there are things. It just, my kids are the line.
Yeah.
My kids, that's simple. My family is the line that I draw, but I'm going to go out with some noise. You'll know. It's coming. I'm going to be hooting and hollering and screaming.
Woo.
You two are in Illinois. What about you guys?
Well, yes, Bobo.
Is
You
that
said
a
you
pet
weren't a pet name guy.
That's this person's name, Bobo
It's a
Farms.
proper name.
Bobo Farms.
First and last name. Dear Bobo, yes, I would. The one thing that would do it for me the quickest is if Illinois started coming after Christian schools with some of their rules, some of their general social guideline rules that you'd have to follow. That could do it for me.
Yeah, I'm along the lines of you guys. It has to do with how they're treating kids and how they treat parents. If they start going after parents and they start going after kids the way California is going after parents and going after kids, I'm done. I'm out.
I'm never moving to Illinois, so I don't have a say.
What would make you move to Illinois, Hannah?
Nuclear fallout.
Just hit Missouri.
Ultimately, it would be if my family moved. I would go with them because I'm always going to stay with my family, but that would never happen.
Your
so.
family wakes up one morning, they're like, man, I got an itch to go to Peoria and live there. You're like, I guess I'm going to go.
No.
If you've got some questions you want to ask us, we might get to a few more on the other side of this break. You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Join us there. Vote in the YouTube live chat poll. I'm going to ask you guys that in our Ask Me Anything when we return. Will a viable third-party candidate enter the presidential race? Yes or no? I have a distinct thought on this, and I'm going to put it out there in the open so when it happens, I can say, see, told you, June 16th. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show in a minute.
Raise 'em up. I'm talking about daddy's old pickup truck.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Sailing down in Mexico. It's just a whiskey glass if you ain't making a toast. Lift your tear-filled eyes up to the sky. Coming home, you've been gone too long. Tonight we're gonna raise 'em up.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. If you are looking to purchase a home and leave Illinois or move into Southern Illinois, it's a beautiful place to live, you might need to get a new mortgage. And when you do go to get a new mortgage, if you don't contact Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage to talk to him about the bagel loan, I'm not going to tell you that if you go somewhere else and talk to them first, that if you don't ever go to Stewie, that you're not going to be able to secure a mortgage, of course. But if you don't talk to Stewie and give him the opportunity to sell you on the bagel loan and why it's obviously the smartest move for your mortgage, then what are you doing? You got to listen to me on this. I'm a 2-time customer of the bagel loan for refinances, but if you're looking to purchase a home, you know those closing costs really stack up at the end of that whole purchase, and you've been, working on the negotiation and what you're going to offer and what you're willing to put up, and then you go through it and then you're like, oh, closing costs, thousands of dollars. Not with the bagel loan, not with Stewie. It's Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. Call 314-324-4440. My friend in the business who will help you secure the best possible situation for your mortgage loan. Google the bagel loan to find out more. You can also call him at 314-324-4440, NMLS number 226715.
There's never been a better time to get that engagement ring or fine diamond jewelry. Right now at Diamonds Direct, our most exciting offer ever. You can get instant savings up to $5,000 off any purchase or enjoy special financing for up to 5 whole years. Either way, you save big. You can't miss this limited time offer. Design your perfect ring and get our most gorgeous and most flexible financing options. Now through June 30th at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. Unapproved credit.
Hello, I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. I'm so proud that we've helped over 15,000 businesses claim over $5 billion in cash incentives. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. Every client is assigned a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to accurately determine eligibility. Innovation Refunds has hundreds of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google, and your business might be entitled to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Businesses of all types can qualify, including medical, professional, construction, even nonprofits. Please don't miss out on this. Even your doctor would tell you to get an expert second opinion, and we do a lot of work for doctors. Download the Innovation Refunds app now or go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of $26,000 per employee. GetRefunds.com. GetRefunds.com.
Adam, man, your aunt parties are the best. I mean, you always find the best kitchens with all the crumbs.
Thanks, man. I love finding these homes to do this at.
Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888. We'd love to help you out. Learn more about our special $67 offer. You can visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
When it comes to finding the perfect grill, family-owned and operated Cotton's Ace Hardware has you covered. Get free delivery and free fuel on any grills over $300, and free assembly and haul away of your old grills with the purchase of a new one. With a selection from Weber to Traeger and your local retailer of the Big Green Egg, Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. Let Cotton's Ace Hardware make your family barbecue more enjoyable with that one-of-a-kind grill you've been looking for. Find your nearest St. Louis area location at cottonsacehardware.com.
Did you know St. Louis leads the nation in rounding up at our local McDonald's restaurants? That small change can make a big difference by supporting the building of a new local Ronald McDonald House. Please learn more at rmhcstl.com.
Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking, will a viable third-party candidate enter the POTUS race? Yes or no? Let us know what you think about that. I will give those results at 2:45. At the beginning of the 2 o'clock hour, though, we're going to play X's and O's with our guests from Air Comfort Services, Corey and Kendra Malone, so stick around for that. The current time is 1:47. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
97.1 FM Talk.
I look forward to hearing the station all day.
Everyone is welcome.
You show us everything you got. You keep on dancing and the room gets hot. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. You say
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
you drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. You keep on shouting, you keep on shouting.
I hate to interrupt you, Ryan Wiggins.
Brad made me do it.
You looked like you could have pulled something there.
No, what I looked like was a professional drummer.
You look like you forgot how to
I didn't know that you could jump that high and get your leg up that high.
Trying to picture what exactly I would have been doing.
It kind of looked like a first baseman stretch.
Yeah.
In the air, though.
In the air.
What it looked like what I would be looking like if I were a professional drummer, which is big floppy arms going all over the place.
You called your arms floppy.
YouTube live chat poll on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Will a viable third-party candidate enter the presidential race, yes or no? What do you think? Hannah, let's go with you first. A non-Republican, non-Democrat gets in there and goes...
Oh, I thought you were calling me a non-Republican. I was like, hey!
Ooh, sensitive. Yeah. No, Hannah is a Republican, and she doesn't date anybody who's not. We've established these things today on the show.
Yes.
What do you think?
Ooh, viable third-party candidate. I'm going to vote yes on today's poll. I think there could be. I think anything goes for this race, especially if it's veering in the direction of a Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. I think a third-party candidate could slide in then and potentially have some pretty good impact.
Brad?
I agree with Hannah on that position. As long as it looks like it's Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, I think a viable third-party candidate is not only possible, I think it's likely. Because people are just looking at both sides going, oh, do we have to?
Boy, viable is the key term. Dan just said that same thing, actually, on the chat.
I'm looking right now at Real Clear Politics. And in the West Virginia Senate race, Joe Manchin versus Justice, whomever that is. Is that the governor or the attorney?
The governor.
It's the governor.
It's the governor. Justice is up 22 points.
That's great news.
A May 22nd through May 23rd poll. So this is less than a month old. An East Carolina University poll. Justice is up 22 points.
That's great.
957 looks like Republican voters. So there you have that. Does that mean that Justice is going to win that or Manchin's going to lose? Joe Manchin is in a precarious position. And if the Republicans in West Virginia handle this race responsibly, Joe Manchin has to really consider if he wants to even try to be in the Senate for a race he's likely going to lose in a very Republican state. I vote absolutely a viable third-party candidate will be in this race, and I think it's going to be Joe Manchin, and I think he could win.
Ooh.
I'm going to disagree, although I think, of course, the key word being viable, there's going to be lots of third-party candidates because there's an appetite for it. Will any of them be taken seriously to make an impact on the race or maybe even win the race? I think the answer is maybe yes, but I don't think it's Manchin. I think it might be RFK Jr.
Man.
I don't think he's electable.
I think it's more likely that it would be Manchin than RFK Jr. Here's something to consider, though. I think the constitutional prescription, if you had 3 candidates run,
it's very important that in my scenario, that the candidates are the current leaders.
Yeah.
Biden and Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. You got 3 candidates run. You need to win a majority of the electoral votes.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not win a majority, if you win a plurality, which is probably what would happen.
What's the difference between a majority and a plurality?
So a majority is 50% plus. Plus one whatever. A
Kevin
plurality
Costner in that one movie.
Yeah. A plurality is...
Which apparently did so well, I can't remember the name of it.
Great one.
The biggest non-majority chunk. So
3 candidates, somebody gets 40%.
Yep. And then the other 2 split it at 30 and 30 or whatever. Then they still don't have a majority, which is what the Constitution requires. So then it goes to the legislature to choose. And each state, I believe, gets 1 vote.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the state legislators from those states, so the House of Representatives and the senators, have to get together and agree on 1 candidate to cast their state's vote for. That candidate then becomes the president of the United States.
Yeah, and I think there are a lot of states in this country that would consider a non-Trump candidate, a non-Biden candidate. I don't know that it's likely that it's going to happen, but I think that we have a more likelihood of it now than we have in my lifetime. And I was alive when Ross Perot was a part of the whole conversation. I just think that Joe Manchin is palatable for a lot of people right now. A lot of people. If it becomes Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom, because those other 2 guys are like, I don't know, in jail or something. If it becomes Ron DeSantis, Gavin Newsom, I don't think that happens. But if it is Trump and Biden, the opportunity for somebody like Joe Manchin to have been elected in a super red state multiple times, to step in and be pro domestic energy and some other things that are of a traditionalist Democrat viewpoint, but also understanding that the country is a super polarized place to be right now. I don't know. I think it's a message that could resonate.
There are a couple of third-party candidates they're trying to keep off the ballot in certain states, but I wouldn't consider them viable. I don't think they are people who could actually win. They could just siphon votes away from one of the 2. Forward Party being one of those. Remember them?
I hate the idea of states trying to keep third-party candidates
I do
off the
too.
ballot.
I hate that.
Any other Ask Me Anything questions? Did you guys have more?
Yes, let me pull some up. We have some from listeners as well. Hunter asked if you're concerned that
Biden?
laws...
Anybody seen my laptop?
Are you concerned that laws similar to what are being passed in California will make their way to Illinois?
I think laws are passed in Illinois and make their way to California.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two-way street.
They really do.
Wow.
They're one and the same. People just don't pay attention to Illinois because it's flyover country. I've been saying a lot.
Which is why they get away with passing a lot of these extreme laws and not getting national coverage.
J.B. Pritzker is passing the most ridiculously offensive to the Constitution, Second Amendment, I was going to say assault is kind of an ironic word to use, so many gun control restrictions coming out of the state of Illinois and J.B. Pritzker so that he can say he did it. No matter what happens in the court system, it doesn't matter. He wants to be able to run for president and say, I led the country with the most aggressive, progressive reform for gun control, and I was able to get it through blah, 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 all these things. And then they tried in Illinois because nobody pays attention. It's disgusting. It makes me so mad.
One more super quick question. Our Quick Rick wants to know, Annie, are you okay with the Fanny's picnic, and would you and the cast support it and attend?
Whoa.
Yeah, big question for a minute left.
Easy answer.
Would need some more details.
Yeah.
If there are bounce houses, yes.
I hate bounce houses so much. You're good with bounce houses as a dad?
Oh, I love them.
Oh my
But-
gosh.
Bounce houses sound like broken arms.
Well,
like
yeah,
bounce
that's
houses.
what my
But I don't have any
wife
children,
says.
so I
I
might
almost
have
said
a
mom
different
right there accidentally.
Stick around. We've got Kendra and Corey coming in from Air Comfort Services to play X's and O's. I'm very excited to have them. I have a little gift for them. I'm excited to see if I can put them in their comfort zone. So stick around. Play X's and O's with us. Ryan, did you prepare well for this one?
Very well.
Very well. All right. Kendra and Corey in studio with us when we come back.
You keep on shouting, you keep on shouting.
This is an Illinois Family Institute, IllinoisFamily.org update. Volunteers are lining busy streets, holding signs with photographs of babies, as well as the victims of abortion.
We go to a busy intersection. We show the reality of abortion. We pass out literature that appeals to the heart to get people to think about the loss that every abortion is.
Eric Scheidler leads the Pro-Life Action League and the organization's Face the Truth tour.
We want to remind people that there's a victim behind abortion to move their opinion farther and farther away from accepting this, not only as a public policy, but even in their own lives. We can restore protection for unborn children in the state if we all join together, if all hands are on deck.
Visit IllinoisFamily.org to stay informed about issues that impact life, faith, families, and freedom, and go there for upcoming events and to sign up for IFI email updates. IllinoisFamily.org.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A pattern of civil rights violations. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. A Justice Department probe launched after the death of George Floyd during an arrest finds the city of Minneapolis and its police department engaged in a pattern of discrimination.
Says U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland.
Using excessive force, unlawfully discriminating against Black and Native American people in enforcement activities, violating the rights of people engaged in protected speech, and discriminating against people with behavioral disabilities.
The city and police department will participate in a consent decree where they agree to legally mandated reforms.
Fox's Eben Brown. A truck driver who expressed hatred of Jews has been convicted of barging into a Pittsburgh synagogue on the Jewish Sabbath in 2018 and fatally shooting 11 congregants in the act of anti-Semitic terror. Robert Bowers convicted on all 63 counts in which he was charged and could face the death penalty. Several federal agencies were hit by a global cyber attack which exploited a vulnerability in a popular file-sharing app.
It's just not clear how extensive the damage is in this large cyber attack or exactly who is responsible. Many lawmakers are pointing the finger at Russian hackers. The Defense Department neither confirming nor denying the hack in a statement to Fox News, saying, as a matter of policy and for reasons of operations security, we do not discuss the status of our networks. However, we recognize the serious nature of new and emerging cyber threats and vulnerabilities and frequent adjust our information infrastructure and cyber defenses to ensure we remain resilient and operationally effective in the face of increasingly sophisticated and capable adversaries.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Daniel Ellsberg has died. He's the whistleblower who leaked the Pentagon Papers, revealing government doubts and deceit about the Vietnam War and inspired acts of retaliation by President Richard Nixon that helped lead to his resignation. Ellsberg was 92. America's listening to Fox News.
At SimpliSafe, we know during a break-in, every second counts. So our home security system is powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who use Fast Protect technology, only from SimpliSafe, to capture video evidence and verify a threat for fast police response. Now, install SimpliSafe your way. Do it yourself or have an expert set it up for you with new Pro Install. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly sunny skies with a little bit of haze and smoke in the upper atmosphere. 90 this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear. Pretty nice. 60 degrees for the low, 80s for evening plans. Saturday, partly sunny and 88. Nothing more than a spot storm. Saturday, a dry day with scattered showers and thunderstorms anytime on Sunday, but especially the afternoon. The high Sunday for Father's Day, 88. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
sts-armory.com. Have you checked out their website lately? Have you gone and visited them in Pontoon Beach lately? I think what you need to understand about STS is that they are the experts when it comes to helping you navigate your firearm purchase. You need to make sure that you have people in the business that you can trust, especially in the state of Illinois. It's complicated, of course, but that doesn't mean that you should be stopped from exercising the Second Amendment rights in accordance with the law. They can help you through that whole process. They will also provide you opportunities for education. And this is a very important thing for any firearm owner, especially if you're newer, but you need to keep the craft and your ability to operate that firearm in a way that is responsible, that is well educated. They're the best. They have classes that are available for you as somebody who is new, for you as somebody who is expert level. They have instructor level courses as well. They can also help you get your conceal and carry. If you don't even know where to start, when you walk in, you see Katie, you see Jesse, you say, I would like to own a firearm. What do I need to know? They're going to help you apply for your FOID card and get you started on the process to being confident in your ability to handle, own, and operate a firearm. Find them online at sts-armory.com.
Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
Critical thinking in critical times. This is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Everyone is welcome. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
And you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, that obscene noise can only mean one thing. It's Friday and it's 2 p.m. and it's time to play a little refresher game of X's and O's. We have Corey and Kendra Malone from Air Comfort Service in studio. Some of my favorite people. Thanks for being in here today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, the last time you guys played was, I think that you were the first clients that we trusted to come in here and play this game. You remember that? Remember when you played last time?
I do remember.
How'd that go?
It didn't go well.
It went very well.
Kendra, how did that go?
It went awesome.
Yeah. You guys did a great job. So did you study this time?
No.
I don't know how, Ryan, how would you tell someone to study for X's and O's?
Read the front page of a couple of websites. I would say, pick a couple random news sites and just kind of peruse what's been happening this week.
Yeah.
You don't really know because I'll pick random things, but that's a way to kind of be in the know.
Well, where was this yesterday?
Well, I considered texting you.
So
he texted me.
Oh, man.
I was like, who I should text is Kendra.
Kendra, for sure. So Air Comfort Service is one of the longest sponsors of 97.1. You guys have been so great to us, so great to me, and you've also been so great to my family because we've pretty much replaced the entire HVAC system in my house.
You have, yes.
Yes, and everything works great. I love telling my husband, like, it's kind of hot up here. Can you turn the air down? And then on his phone, if it's the middle of the night, he can alter it. You guys put in a digital thermostat for us in our house as well. So
and it actually works.
Yes, everything works. We are always in our comfort zone. We don't have to run it as much because you guys also did an AeroSeal duct sealing on our house. We have 2 stories. The basement, super cold. Upstairs, it could be cooler up there. And that AeroSeal duct sealing did so much to even out the airflow in our house. We haven't had one of those crazy hot days yet here in St. Louis this year. What are people right now experiencing with their air conditioning units? People pretty happy right now? Because it seems like by the time you get to mid-June, we might have one of those days. When's it get super hot?
Yeah. Well, when you can open your windows at night and it's 60 degrees, they're comfortable and they're gone during the day. They're working. So everybody's saying we usually have this heat for at least a week in June, but they're saying, maybe early July.
Yeah.
Late
I've been
June,
waiting for
like
it
that.
to get hot.
Yeah.
I've been going to some baseball games. I don't know, Ryan, if you've experienced this with your kids, but you go to the nighttime games. I'm wearing jeans and layers on top, like a T-shirt, bringing a jacket or a hoodie, and I've always got a blanket in case I got the kid there because I don't want to be cold at night. It's not been hot.
It's been great. And people walking around just going, June?
Yeah.
Everybody agrees that it's been a really nice, long spring this year.
Yeah.
The heat will come.
It will come. Our son coaches helps to coach an 11U team, so we get to go back to the ballpark again, which is so much fun. But we went last week, and I was in a hoodie.
Yeah.
I was like,
Not bizarre. Not
I was
bad.
at that same field a couple years ago coaching. Wishing I could have a swimsuit on.
No kidding.
It was so hot.
Well, one of the reasons why I bring that up is because when it does get super hot, you guys get super busy.
Yes.
And so now is a really good time if you are interested in replacing your air conditioning unit, if it's not functioning the way it's supposed to be. When you call Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091, you guys have a really, really great opportunity for people through the end of June.
Yes.
To save on an air conditioning unit so that when it gets super hot in July and, of course, August, September, you're not trying to fit in this mad rush. You could probably get in now and save some money.
Yeah, that's right. Because everybody, they want to replace it either when they need it or, they know they need to do it, but they want to wait for a month or two. Well, as soon as you replace it, you start taking advantage of all the savings.
Yeah.
So we have Carrier Cool Cash goes through the end of the month, which is a great deal. And then there's utility rebates, there's tax credits. We're doing a bundle system setup where you can bundle in insulation, and it basically, with the tax credit, your insulation is basically free.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so give us a call. We'll get you in.
Fantastic. 314-513-0091, online at aircomfortservice.com. A longtime advertiser with the station and a sponsor of the show, and we are very grateful for you. So now that we've gotten that all those niceties out of the way, let's fight over X's and O's. Who was which last time? X's, O's, X's?
I don't remember.
Kendra, which one do you want to be?
I'll be O's.
O's? You comfortable being X's?
I am very comfortable being X's.
All right. And since Corey lost last time, should Corey go first?
Yeah, that's the way it should go.
But let's have Kendra go first.
All right. What a gentleman.
I think we are going to have Kendra go first, just because. The rules of the game, just in case you don't remember, or if you're tuning in for the first time and you want to know, there's a big tic-tac-toe board up behind Air Comfort Services, Corey and Kendra. They will be filling out that board by where they choose to go. Numbers 1 through 9, squares numbered. There are corresponding questions for each square. You will pick a square based on strategy of trying to get a tic-tac-toe, but then you will pick either Annie, Hannah, or Brad to answer those questions for you. You will simply agree or disagree for the square. Okay. All right. With that in mind, and with Kendra going first, where would you like to go?
I'm going to start with Hannah.
Okay, Hannah, and which square do you want to pick?
I will choose 8.
8.
Bottom center.
Okay. Hannah, there is sound associated with this clip, although it is not AI sound. It is just unaltered audio. It is St. Louis's new circuit attorney replacing Kim Gardner.
Based on our assessment so far, we think that we're looking at about 215 pending homicide cases, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of approximately 2,800 pending felony cases.
That is a clip of him talking about what he's dealing with now. It was actually on Reardon yesterday. The question being, Hannah, what is the new circuit attorney's name?
Gabe Gore.
Man, that was fast. Agree or disagree?
I feel like she answered that so fast.
She has a lot of confidence.
I will agree.
That is correct.
Hey.
Good start.
Good job, Hannah.
Man, Hannah, okay. All right, good stuff. Corey.
Let's go.
Okay, there's an O on the board.
Woo-hoo.
Corey, where would you like to go?
Let's go Annie.
Okay.
Okay, Annie, in which square?
5.
Center
choice.
square.
5. All right, Annie.
Yes.
Here we go.
The singer of this song's name is
Khalees.
Khalees. That's right, Khalees, not Kelly's.
Or
absolutely sure, I guess.
Khalees is rumored to be dating Bill Murray, and she's not denying the rumors. True or false? Yeah, Bill Murray, the singer of Milkshake.
No.
You're saying the singer of Milkshake, Khalees.
Yes.
Not that Bill Murray
Not
is
that he's the singer of Milkshake. True or false? Bill Murray is in the movie National Lampoon's Animal House.
Oh, I have no idea. Ooh. Corey, this is going to be on you to know the answer to this question, and I have a yes or a no to give, and I'm going to say yes. It's a weird question.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to hand in my man card. I'm going to say no.
He disagrees.
Corey Malone is correct.
Hey!
Good job. Good job. Yeah,
Will you please
Caddyshack.
return his man card right
Yes.
now?
Yeah.
Give
Yes.
that back to him.
I'm sorry, I took it too early.
Ryan's been looking for one.
Finally had one for a minute.
It was so good in my hands.
There you go. All right.
A Corey Malone man card. No.
Okay.
All right, back to Kendra. Where do you want to go?
I guess I'll go 7. Bottom left.
7. Who's answering the question?
Oh, sorry. Brad.
Okay.
Brad.
No apologies
Yes.
necessary.
More California Exodus news. Tom Hanks, along with Green Day's Billy Joe Armstrong, joined the reverse boycott urging the owner of the Oakland A's to sell the team rather than move the team from Oakland to what city?
Oh.
So the question is where would Oakland be moving to?
Correct.
The rumor is, and I believe Las Vegas has passed legislation to provide a stadium, so Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Athletics. Ew.
Would it be the Vegas Athletics?
Confident. I think
Is it
my
better than the
son was
Oakland
talking
Athletics?
about this. Yeah. I think that's true. Yes, I'm going to agree with you.
You both are correct.
Yeah.
Hey.
Las Vegas. I was really looking for a way to play Leaving Las Vegas by Sheryl Crow, but it didn't make sense.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite, yeah.
We
So we'll
also
have to
would have
wait.
tipped it off a little bit.
Yeah,
Next
you're
time,
right.
just
Just a little.
go in with Walking in Memphis.
Or Leaving Beep. What words did she leave out of the song? All right, Corey, back to you.
Let's go 9.
9, got to do it.
And Hannah.
Hannah.
For the block.
Hannah, this is a clip from the latest episode of Tucker on Twitter.
He is not a dictator. A dictator would stockpile ammunition for his own bureaucrats, including his tax collectors. He'd redefine the legal code to make disloyalty to the regime the most serious crime. He'd claim dominion over the most intimate parts of his citizens' lives. He'd define what attitudes they were allowed to have about sex and religion and how to raise their families.
That being from the latest episode, how many episodes of Tucker on Twitter are there?
He said how many? I was going to say episode.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
3.
This would be from the last episode, so you're saying this would be episode 3.
Corey is telling Hannah the answer, which is allowed.
Yeah, it's fine.
4.
Because I can't go against
You got to
I went against
you got to
last
lock
time.
it in.
Lock it in 4.
Lock it in at 4. Agree or disagree?
I will agree.
Oh, yeah.
Hey!
You happen to be right.
For the block.
Yeah.
When I was listening to that, I thought you were going to ask me who Tucker was talking about.
Something about it?
Who is he talking about?
Joe Biden.
That's correct.
Also
so that's
correct.
what I was preparing for.
A
but
wee
of
bit
course
tongue-in-cheek.
you had to take it
Yep.
the other way.
All right, now Corey is threatening, maybe, depending on what square he wants
Well,
to
we don't
obviously
know.
pick. So let's take a quick break right now. We've got Kendra and Corey Malone of Air Comfort Service in the studio here playing X's and O's. And got a little gift to give you guys here in the break. We can talk about it when we come back, but stick around. Watch us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Vote on the YouTube live chat poll if you want to as well. We'll be back with X's and O's and Air Comfort Service in studio when we come back. Don't go away.
Watching the ships roll in, and then I watch them roll away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Watching the tide roll away. Ooh, just sitting
This
on
is The
that
Annie
dock
Frey
of
Show.
the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia
headed for the Frisco Bay. 'Cause I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay.
Well, during Ask Me Anything earlier, I said my favorite meal is an Andrea's filet mignon, and I am now craving one. So if I did that to you, what? Don't be weird. I'm not being weird. I'm telling you the truth. I want to go get a filet mignon right after the show today. If you want to make one at home, if you don't want to go to the restaurant, if you've never been there, you really should go. It's a terrific environment, especially we've been saying the evenings are just so nice right now. Enjoy an evening sitting on their patio. That's a great place to do that this weekend. But if you want to make it at home, get their sauce. Get Andrea's steak sauce. They also have barbecue sauce now, and they've had salad dressing for a while. Each one of those very, very unique flavors, but the steak sauce is what put them on the map. If you've never tried Andrea's and you're in Schnucks or Deerbergs and you see them right now, they're usually on the end caps. Good deals because of summer grilling. Grab a bottle, take it home with you. It's the great equalizer. No matter what you're cooking, it's going to make it better because we usually use it on steaks, but man, we've been using it in stews. We use it on pork tenderloin a lot in the winter, but right now, grilling season, get a bottle and put it on whatever you're grilling. You can also get all three of those sauces at Andreas.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This Little Light is a new podcast hosted by Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Join him as he explores falling in love with music, music education, and the creative process while interviewing the biggest names in music, like Rick Rubin.
I like things that are stripped down. I've always liked things that are stripped down. Then I can get to the point where I like something that's stripped down and what's it like with an orchestra.
This Little Light is a presentation of Cadence 13. Subscribe and download it now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
If you haven't checked out Innsbruck lately, now is the time. It's less than an hour from St. Louis. It's the perfect getaway close to home. And the newest development is Treehouse Living, built on an all-steel substructure overlooking the valley below, an unobstructed view on an expansive deck. They are amazing, and lots are for sale right now. Just add that to everything else you can do out there. 100-plus lakes stocked with fish, hiking trails, cabins of all sizes, activity center, the camp for kids over the summer, 18-hole championship golf course, and more. Check out Innsbruck today. Innsbruck-resort.com. That's Innsbruck-resort.com.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Don't suffer from seasonal allergies when Air Comfort Service has solutions to remove up to 99% of allergens. Improve your indoor air quality and get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com.
Summertime is finally here.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
School's out and the night's rolling, man. Just like a long lost friend you ain't seen in a while. You can't help but smile.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's Friday in June. I didn't make this announcement yet, but Sunday would be June 18th, 2016 was the first Annie Frey Show. It was on a Saturday.
Woohoo!
So what would that be in 2016, 6-7 years that the Annie Frey Show has existed as of
Congratulations.
Sunday. Very exciting. We've got Kendra and Corey Malone of Air Comfort Service in here to play a little X's and O's. And whose turn is it? Kendra's turn right now. Let's get Todd, the drummer, back in here. And where did he go? Did he have to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Get Todd! Oh, he's back. Okay,
he
there
goes
he is.
for a long time, too.
He has to wash his hands.
Starts and stops. Todd is of a certain age. It's all good.
Hey now.
No, I didn't say you were
the old guys.
Corey, no. You're young and spry, and you still retain your man card. Try to steal it.
I thought you were going to say retain water or something.
No, that's what I do. All right, let's get back to it. It is Kendra's turn. You got to pick a square and a person.
I'm going to go number 1 for the block, please.
All right. Who's
Top
answering
left.
this question for you?
That'll be Annie, please.
Let's do it.
Annie.
Sorry, Corey.
I have a 20-second clip here from 80s rocker and typically far-left activist Dee Snider
Ooh, we're in trouble.
talking about his refusal to agree with gender reassignment surgeries for kids.
I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to accept that you said I'm this or that and I'm transphobic. I'm going to push back on that. I know I said one thing that I disagreed with and I'm transphobic. Because I disagreed with one point out of your thousands, push back. We are the true majority. We are the vast majority. And we need to have the bigger voice.
My
Don't
favorite
let the
band.
loudest voices be in the room be the bullying minority.
Glad to hear that that's your favorite band, because the question is, what 80s hair metal band was Dee Snider the singer of?
Yes, the
Yep.
Heart.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow. I see what you did there.
I'm looking out for my friend Kendra here.
Yeah, if you're going to go for it, just go for it.
It's also the only band I could think of.
The only band on planet Earth you could think of is Heart? Okay.
Why do you hate them?
I have to really think about this
Yeah.
Yeah, think hard.
I think I'm going to disagree with
Wilson
Annie.
Phillips.
Twisted Sister?
Yes.
Ooh, I've heard of them.
It is Twisted Sister. Yes.
Do they sing We're Not Gonna Take It Anymore?
Yes.
So he was
Yeah.
using the lyrics of his song?
Yes.
Oh,
Twisted Sister also sings, These dreams will go on when I close my eyes. All right, Corey.
Stop showing off.
All right. Let's go 4.
Can I be honest? I can't name anything Heart sings.
So you didn't even know that I was singing Heart right there.
That was hard?
Yeah.
No.
It wasn't actually Twisted Sister.
I thought it was Wilson Phillips.
No.
Wow.
No. I had to search deep in the archives of my brain to find their 80s stuff.
There are people who trust me with knowledge on a vast array of things. That's not the category.
That's why I'm glad you got that
I've
question.
said this before. My kids keep asking me like nature questions. And we were sitting in the dugout one of my son's baseball practices, killing time. And my mom's like, my daughter's like, Mommy, what kind of bird is that? And I told her it was an Oreo bird because the top of it and the bottom of it were black and the belly was white. And she just believed it. And I told her, I go, anymore, you ask me nature questions, I'm giving you an answer.
Man, that's a good strategy, just making up an answer.
That's all I'm doing.
Because my son will ask me, Dad, how much does that building weigh?
Yeah, you just tell him. Who's going to disagree with him?
I mean,
they don't
well
know.
over 100 pounds.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
That's my new strategy.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Corey, back to the drawing board.
Got ourselves a game.
We do. We'll go 4. And
More competitive than the St. Louis Cardinals.
Who do I get to use?
Whoever you want. So, Annie, Hannah, or myself?
I've gone twice. You each have gone. No, you've gone twice.
I've gone twice.
Yeah.
Once. For bad.
Bring her home, man.
All right.
Okay, Brad. The Fed said on Wednesday that they will not be raising rates this month, leaving the rate untouched in a rare move for them recently. Some key inflation indexes have finally begun to slow down. The announcement was made by the chair of the Federal Reserve. Who is the Federal Reserve chairman?
Ooh, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell.
Carney Wilson.
The heart.
Gene Simmons.
I will agree. Gene Simmons.
Jerome
All
Powell,
right,
lock it
agree
in.
or disagree?
I agree.
Correct. You both are correct.
Woo-hoo.
It is Jerome Powell. All right, that leaves
We're 3
us
and 3 on the
with-
board.
Yeah, it's a tight game.
This is
Much
great.
different than the last one.
Yes. I will go with 6, please.
6.
But the block.
And
6.
yes, for the block, and I'll go back to Hannah, please.
Okay.
Hannah, you have someone with the sound.
Joe Biden.
I was waiting for you to say it.
All right, what I have here is a
It
real
usually
clip from
is
the
still.
week.
I know.
He hasn't changed.
I run this clip through AI, so it's not the actual person saying it. Tell me who said this.
This is my commitment, on January 20th, 2025, if I'm elected the next U.S. President, to pardon Donald J. Trump for these offenses, in this federal case.
Need to
So
hear it
this
again?
person is saying they would pardon Trump.
Yeah.
Oh. Tim Scott?
Tim Scott. Okay. Agree or disagree?
I'm going to disagree.
Here's who said it.
This is my commitment.
That is Vivek Ramaswamy.
January 20th,
Who said it,
2025, if
What
I'm
he
elected
said.
the
Yeah.
next president, to pardon Donald J. Trump for these offenses
right.
in this federal case.
This might be the best campaign to be Trump's VP.
Yeah.
Because they're still going to prosecute him. He's on record saying, yeah, I'll pardon you.
Yeah.
Never thought about it that way.
Yeah. All right.
Another block.
Another block. Man, is this going to come down to total squares? I think it might.
I think it might. 2, please.
2. And who's answering this question?
Hannah.
Hannah.
I think
I'm
she's done.
used.
Oh,
Have
you're
you
used
them
up.
all?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're
so
used up.
each one of us can go 3 times. So Hannah's gone 3 times.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can select either Annie or myself.
Okay.
Brad.
Brad, please.
Brad, you have.
Sorry, Ann.
That's okay. I'm got thick skin
You have
here.
also stumbled into sound. This is another AI clip, so a real clip from the week. Run through AI. Tell me who said this.
Gee, as a naval officer, if I would have taken classified to my apartment, I would have been court-martialed in a New York minute.
So who said that?
Who said that? You need to hear it again?
No, that's Ron DeSantis.
Is it?
Is it, though?
It is.
Is it?
He was a naval officer.
I'm
Sorry.
going to agree because I knew he was a naval officer. I don't know if he said it or not, but
He's just throwing his confidence behind Brad. Usually when I say, Brad's a pastor, people are like, I disagree with him.
Yeah.
We're actually 2 for 2 in that.
Here's who really said it.
Gee, as a naval officer, if I would have taken classified to my apartment, I would have been court-martialed in a New York minute.
He always sounds like he's reading a children's book.
I like that he just calls it
Well,
classified.
gee. Yeah.
He also does the head thing where he just kind of bobbles his head left and right.
He does. Like a Muppet.
Gee.
So there's no tick.
Like when Dana Carvey used to impersonate Jay Leno. He just basically just bobble his head around and go,
It's 4-4. There is no tic-tac-toe that can be acquired. So this square
decides the whole game.
decides the whole game.
That's the way we like
Which
it.
was
On
the
Annie Fry.
opposite of the last time, Corey.
It is the opposite.
I think
Yes, it is.
she got 8 of the 9 squares last time.
She did.
Yeah.
That was historic. I don't know that anybody's ever done that again.
Yeah, he's been working out, doing the push-ups, getting ready for X's and O's. He did a very good job so
Yeah.
far. Let's see who wins.
Can't wait to see the montage. Get some Rocky music playing in the
Eye of the
background.
tiger.
Putting
Get some
X's on the
eggs,
board.
Start drinking eggs and slamming down X's.
And all for naught if you don't get this square. All right, so it's square number 3, and it has to go. Does it have to go to Annie?
It's going to be Annie.
Yes, me,
Okay, Annie.
Kendra, and Annie.
A group of children.
Yeah.
This is a great one to end on.
It's called a pack.
It's called a murder of crows. A group of children survived for 40 days in the jungle after a plane crash. And now it's come out that they were fleeing danger. The father of 2 of the children said that he had sent them on the plane so that they would not be recruited by violent war groups. In what country did the plane crash?
I have this article set aside to read.
Yeah, you should read it.
I will later.
Okay.
Chew.
Great one to end on. Don't we agree?
I think it's South American.
Is that your final answer?
My husband's like, Annie,
Michigan.
Where's the jungle? And I'm like, gosh, I don't really know. Yeah, Detroit. Brazil.
Brazil.
That is a guess. I don't think that's right.
I know I read it, but I do not
There are a lot of
remember.
other countries other
I
than
know.
Brazil.
I'm going
Total
to
guess.
disagree with Annie.
You're going to disagree. Okay, so if Annie's correct, then Corey wins.
Mm-hmm.
If Annie's wrong, Kendra wins.
And Annie guessed. And I think I'm wrong.
Annie is incorrect.
Yay, Kendra!
Kendra has won again.
That was a valiant effort. What country is it?
Colombia.
Oh.
I thought it was Chile, but it was
It
Colombia.
was Colombia.
Yeah.
Maybe
That was
this
a
whole
they
game
had
is
a
in
movie
protest.
on that, right?
Well, it just happened.
So that's the mines.
Yeah, you're thinking of the miners.
No, I'm thinking of the movie
No,
where the
Alive.
soccer team. Yeah, where the soccer
Oh,
team had
crashed
to eat each
and then
other.
they had to
yeah.
eat people.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good job, guys.
Well, thank you for
This
having
is much
us.
better. The next time you come in, I'm feeling a Corey win the next time.
It's got to be.
But you got to play 5 now in order for
I know. I need a new
best
manager.
of 5. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for the sponsorship of the show. We're so grateful for it. Thank you for keeping my family in their comfort zone in about every way that you possibly could with our whole HVAC system. I am a customer of Air Comfort Service, and if you have any HVAC needs, any insulation needs, now's the time to call Air Comfort Service and ask them about how you can save, because they always have great opportunities to get you where you need to get in your comfort zone and help you with that budget. 314-513-0091. Come back soon.
We will.
We will.
And you can't be in Mexico every time I call you. You people travel to Mexico like we go to Disney, and I love it. All right. We'll be back with the results of the YouTube live chat poll when we return. A big announcement about the Annie Frey Show, and we're going to try our gender-specific chocolate when we return. Don't go away.
Sweet summertime.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Temperature says 93 down at the deposit and guarantee, but that swimming hole, it's nice and cold.
When it comes to finding the perfect grill, family-owned and operated Cotton's Ace Hardware has you covered. Get free delivery and free fuel on any grills over $300, and free assembly and haul away of your old grills with the purchase of a new one. With a selection from Weber to Traeger and your local retailer of the Big Green Egg, Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. Let Cotton's Ace Hardware make your family barbecue more enjoyable with that one-of-a-kind grill you've been looking for. Find your nearest St. Louis area location at cottonsacehardware.com.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house, and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home, the brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years, Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO, easy to remember phone number, or go online today at 877-25-RHINO.com.
I want to talk to you about Slim 180 and how I have been losing and dropping weight. I'm down about 13 pounds with Slim 180. And here's the thing, because I'm taking the semaglutide. A lot of people are talking about the injections that help you lose weight. It works. You can get that at Slim 180, and it's way more affordable. Mention the Annie Frey Show when you reach out to them. But the one thing that I want to tell you about this process is that it's realistic. And I'm busy, you're busy, everybody has lifestyles that they're living. And when it comes to learning how to lose weight practically and apply it to your lifestyle so that you don't have to exist in an entirely different reality than everyone else does, Slim 180 is able to do that for me, and it's been successful. I went to Cleveland and Columbus, Ohio over a weekend. I came back and I didn't gain any weight. In fact, I continued to lose a little bit of incremental weight. I've stayed with the plan. There are times where I've had to make decisions that weren't according strictly to plan, but I was able to get right back on it, and it hasn't hurt my results at all. If you were looking to drop weight, to get healthy, reach out to Slim 180 and mention the Annie Frey Show when you do. They have multiple plans, so if one isn't right for you, there's got something there that is. Find them online at myslim180.com.
Oh, Adam, you are so romantic. And I love the kitchen you found with all these great crumbs.
Yeah, baby, only the finest crumbs in the kitchen for my favorite aunt. Oh no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They always kill the mood.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888. We'd love to help you out. Learn more about our special $67 offer. You can visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
Tony LaRussa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet, first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
I'm about to deliver the final results to the Annie Frey Show YouTube live chat poll, which is asking, will a viable third-party candidate enter the POTUS race? Yes or no? Stay tuned to hear those results. The time is 2:41. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Hey, we'll take you into the weekend with a Reardon Roundtable Friday afternoon. Jane Duker on the panel. Former Chief of Staff for Mayor Slade Jeff Rainford, State Senator Nick Schroer. It all starts at 3.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
And the world's a stage, and the end is near.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I'm just trying to not make inappropriate jokes.
I don't know why you would try. Just let it flow.
Let's show the cameras what we have in our hands here. I didn't really ask about preference. I just made some assumptions here. And
yeah, I might sue you.
Ryan, he, him, nuts.
Yep, I got the ones with nuts.
Jeremy's chocolates. Our chocolates went missing, and then we got them back, and then for a whole host of reasons, we never have had time to talk about this and eat it on the air and tell you how we like Jeremy's chocolates. This is the Daily Wire chocolate that came out after. Was it Hershey came out and had like was it Hershey that had a transgender?
It was Hershey, but I don't remember what they did now.
They changed their label to Hershey.
Yeah.
For Women's History Month.
Oh, yeah. It was the most pandery thing.
Yeah. And so then Jeremy's chocolates which is also Jeremy's Razors. When was it Harry's Razors?
Yep.
Decided to pull off of Matt Walsh's
It
program.
was Michael Knowles' show.
Michael Knowles. I thought it was Matt Walsh. They said, well, we should just make chocolate and sell it just to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that's great. I'll buy some chocolate. This chocolate, how much do you guys know how much I spent for these 4 bars of chocolate?
No.
It was over 20.
It was just shy of 40.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
With shipping and everything. And
Man, this
taxes.
better be good.
Yeah. So we've got this. I have the nutless, she, her. And
Nutless.
Brad and Ryan.
It's not
We
just
have
called
nuts.
milk chocolate. It's called nutless.
It says nutless.
Yep.
She, her,
There you
nutless.
go. And I've got nuts.
Had to get some chocolate to prove it. So you guys can test this and try this out. And we've been teasing a big announcement on the show. And so I'm going to make that big announcement right here, right now. The Annie Frey Show was given a huge opportunity, and it was one we could not pass up. And what we were presented with was a travel to the southern border. And we are going with some Illinois legislators. We are going with some sheriffs in the state of Illinois. It is a 4-state delegation, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Michigan.
Yeah.
And so Brad and I, not this coming Monday, but the next Monday, are going to travel to the border and get a tour. We're traveling Monday, Tuesday, top to bottom, we've got a scheduled day that starts at 7 a.m. or something like that. And we are going to be at the border, on the border, talking to the people there. Myra Flores is involved in what we're going to do. And then we're coming back Wednesday. Our flight lands in St. Louis on Wednesday at noon, assuming everything goes according to plan. And we are coming from the airport back to the studio to try to finish the show on Wednesday. So as long as everything goes according to plan, we'll be back in the studio sometime Wednesday. But we are going to be able to bring you a firsthand account of what we're experiencing at the border, the questions that you've heard us ask Jim Carafano on Tuesdays with regularity, people from the Center for Immigration Studies, from Fair Immigration. We talk about this and have been talking about it as a key issue for me. I am very interested in getting to the bottom of the human trafficking, sex trafficking, and child trafficking epidemic that we have in this country. I think that people get so wrapped up in the border as a political red, blue, open border, closed border, amnesty. There's all these bold-faced vocabulary words that exist in this conversation. But in the meantime, they're trafficking children. And we're not talking about it. I have somebody in my life, I won't be specific, who I've had a conversation recently, who has a family member, a close family member, not immediate, a close family member that just went missing at one point, and they assume that they might have gotten caught up in some sort of trafficking ring.
My gosh.
And I think more people know about stories like that, like know someone who knows somebody who may have been lost into some sort of, I don't know how, I was going to say opportunity is clearly not the right word, but they get trapped up in something. And we have areas around here, like MS-13 is literally in the listening area of this radio station. That's documented. The fentanyl and the drugs is here. This is a scenario where Brad and I have been given this opportunity to go to the southern border and see it for ourselves and see where the ground zero is for this problem. But this problem is our problem here in St. Louis. And so we are going to get the opportunity to go use our eyes and our ears to see and to listen and then to report back to you guys. And I'm really excited about it and equally grateful for Centric Security, who is partnering with us to make this possible, to be able to bring you back all of the content and everything. Centric Security is a great sponsor of the show, coming back, have been with us before pre-COVID, and excited to have them back with us to help bring you all of this, all of the information that we're going to be able to see. It's hard to know what we're going to be able to do because we're getting the most front row view of what's taking place.
Yeah, I mean, we want to be able to call in live from the border. We want to talk to different Border Patrol agents and bring you guys some interviews with them and what they're seeing. And just there's all sorts of cool things that we can do that we can actually firsthand show you what it is we're seeing. And it won't be kind of just filtered out like whatever you see on the news. We will be able to see what is actually going on at the border with our own eyes, and then we'll bring that to you, the listeners.
And I think it's also really important for you to understand, listening to this show, that the show was sought out for this opportunity. There was an ask that was made of us because people know about you, and you are valuable to these people who want to make this possible so that more people in law enforcement and government can see what's going on. So very excited about it, taking it seriously. This is a different trip than, hey, we're going to Disney World to do as many Disney World things as we possibly can as a show. Brad and I are going to go there, and we're going to be working sun up to well past sundown, I'm sure, to bring you as much information and as much content from the southern border as possible. That's about as much detail as I can give right now. I got to make sure that I know if there's anything that I can't say on the air beforehand or not. But we'll have some. We're going to be able to have some really cool conversations with people and bring that to you. So that's happening. We're traveling the last Monday in June. We'll get there Monday afternoon or evening. Tuesday all day. We're going to be calling into the radio station. We're going to be taking a lot of video of everything that they'll allow us to, and then come back Wednesday to do the show. And Ryan and Hannah are going to hold down the fort on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yep.
While we're gone.
Yeah, we'll be here. It's going to be a fun show, I guess, from perspective of doing a show.
I can't wait to hear from you guys.
Yeah, because we'll be here, kind of steering the ship, but you guys will be just as much a part of the show, but just not here. So I don't know exactly technologically how you guys are planning on setting all this up.
We have ideas.
I thought you did. But it'll be, and it's not just this show, because you guys will be calling in and doing things with the other shows too. But
definitely this show.
Definitely here and now, noon to 3, you will be here, as much as possible.
We'll be able to ask you questions like listeners will be. I mean, I'm really excited.
We'll
for
jump
this.
in
I'm
on the
happy for
stream.
you guys. That's good.
One of the main reasons Brad is coming is to try to make sure that all of that tech stuff can be managed and utilized. Be sure to subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, because we're going to be putting a ton of content up there. We're going to be sharing things to the 97.1 Facebook page, to the 97.1 social media accounts, the Annie Frey Show social media accounts. So connect to all those things, if you will, and follow along with us. And I am very, very interested always in connecting to you and your thoughts, because that helps me prepare. If I'm going to the southern border and I have an audience with these people, your questions are my questions. So reach out to us. Let us know what you want to see, what you want to hear, and I will definitely be reading that and taking that into consideration.
Beyond even the interviews that you guys are going to be able to do down there with local border patrol and sheriffs and maybe even politicians down there, I would like to just see what you see. What are you going to be looking at? Because you will be literally right there on the border at whatever spot that is in Texas. And I just want to know if if you actually see people crossing. Is it that common?
Yeah.
Or is it, are you at a portion of the wall? I don't even know if you guys know yet. But we'll get to see all that, not only as we're talking about it, but if you subscribe to the show page, you'll get to actually see video of a lot of that, I'm sure.
Chocolate?
I took a nibble.
So Jeremy's she/her chocolate. I'm consuming the nutless chocolate. And it says on the package here, enjoy the sweet taste of building a woke-free economy. And then it says Jeremy's chocolate, a Daily Wire venture, dailywireplus.com. I've had some of mine, and it's good chocolate.
It is.
I don't know that I'm a chocolate connoisseur. I'm not like a super duper chocolate person, but it's good chocolate.
I'm not going to say this just because it's better than Hershey's. It's not the top tier best chocolate I've ever had, but this is definitely good chocolate.
Make you feel like a man?
Yeah, manly.
Ryan?
Up until now, he would have said no. I don't feel any more like a man from eating this. I am always a very, very masculine man. Some people
that's what masculine.
Some people
men
look at me
like
and they
to
just
say.
go, "Wow!"
Some people might say alpha.
Some people might.
Not
the
me,
one
but-
thing I will say about this chocolate is that they have done something interesting. This is more of a candy connoisseur comment for me
Here
than
we
it is
go.
about the wokery. They have taken the nuts and they have crushed them. And they have sprinkled the nuts throughout. They've sprinkled the nuts throughout the chocolate, as you can see. I'm holding it up to the camera there. You can see that it's not just a peanut in Everything's just dripping with
Grow
innuendo.
up.
It's not just like a peanut or an almond dropped in. They have crushed them up, and so it tastes a little different than usual.
It's great.
Hannah, do you want to try some with nuts?
Hannah? You want to try mine?
Grow up, Ryan.
I think that I wonder if they put the crushed peanuts on this chocolate just so that it was more visible. Because if you have peanuts in a chocolate bar, you can't necessarily see them as much. That this is just like more for the effect of.
Yeah. They're
I
like,
like
look,
the nuts.
yeah, we want you to be able to see. They want you to be able to see their nuts.
Nuts are good.
Free the nuts.
We're so mature around here.
YouTube poll, anybody?
No, we just want to eat. Do whatever you want.
I know. Eating into the microphone.
Yeah, I can't handle it. So
cringing.
why don't we get to the YouTube poll before we wrap things up here?
All right, today's YouTube live chat poll is asking, will a viable third-party candidate enter the POTUS race, yes or no? I've been checking results throughout the whole show, and they've stayed pretty stagnant. 70% of the people say no, a third-party viable candidate will not enter the race. 30% of the people believe that a third-party candidate will. A summary of comments throughout the show, a lot of people are saying that RFK Jr. will enter. A lot of people also said something about Donald Trump entering as a third-party candidate, which I think is super interesting. But we got a ton of comments about that. A lot of people are saying that viable is the key word in this poll, and a lot of people don't think that there could be a viable third-party candidate to enter the race. So 70% of the people say no, 30% of the people voted yes about a viable third-party candidate entering the POTUS race.
You guys agree with that? You think that's about right? What did you say, Ryan?
I said yes, but I'm not convinced. I could go either way, but I went ahead and said yes.
I was like you, Annie. Provided that it's Biden versus Trump 2.0, that it's not just viable and possible, it's likely.
In that circumstance, specifically.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I said yes, is because I think that is going to happen. I think it is going to be Trump and Biden. And therefore, I think there's an appetite for a third party.
I think the interesting thing, too, is if Trump goes down or if Biden goes down, that there are a lot of people in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party in a stare down going, who's going to blink first here? Because if one of them steps out, I think that very quickly changes the pressure on the other party to take a new path. Because if you're going to go all in on Biden, you're going to go all in on Trump, then it's kind of, we've been here before, we know how to do this. If one of them changes, the other one might have to as well. Appreciate you being with us. Please subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and make sure that you've downloaded that Odyssey app. Follow 97.1 FM Talk. We'd love to have you there. You can stream us anywhere you go. And if you keep it right here, The Mark Reardon Show, coming up next.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, car